ngaro na la wato kuma ta baki asira linga da fo ko nyi founding kila
hey elafta maboro la bank kalpo efa igiso eseo na yuna jang ibadin kiyato kati yuna wallet ibe falindiro ke kan sandiri nyat
ni la yuna wallet o si muna fanno tulo yabo mano kandri ni fenja jama isi sanno la yuna wallet o kono yalla kamo soto ila wallet o kono
alkana la konda no tay ka yuna wallet anatan tolle rukan na balwo fanondi abe sono yaren ko bulu podo ne la mobile scan yo science ise maboro ke wato men diate
ko be sandro ke fangole ba ko ba ke kan dimbalem isi ñu lonko e sandro se yona enterprise wato wati ani la yona wole tola e be lan kam soto kay la wole to kon
alina na tafun nanyi yuna dimbayal tan kasandiro ke yuna biti foto alina kata nyin ko kentat na sura fon lolu si sandiro kije se maboro fanan keje
moro jundiana nyum ko di mabal ni kadeda
Today I'm back in the studio. I was out of town and on the partnership that we have with one of our most trusted partners, Baluo. I was in Spain and on engagement with Gambian community, and of course it was refreshing, and I'm happy to be back today. I was in Spain, I was in Zurich, and I was in Germany, so I had the opportunity to meet so many Gambians. It was refreshing. But I'm glad to be back home today to talk to Gambians, of course, again on our show. And of course, today I have two Nyanjos here. I've been taking Sanneh. This is the second time you're coming on my show. Sorry.
Kila sponsor for our content. For your content. Video ko ni fasaro le kada nyola. Ni fasaro dia kala fulo de. Bari mambori ya. Fele. Ito buka bari.
Bika chawe dula. Bika chawe dula. Nento fele dula. Samane.
Yes. Thank you. I'm back home.
But your last show though, on Gambantaba, what do tell it? And then I have a lot of people calling me, no, Kalibo was tough on Mr. Manneh. I'm like, Mr. Manneh is a Democrat.
I can take anything.
He knows how to handle this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of people.
But it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. So I can handle it. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manneh, for always. First, I think what I want to, we start with restaurant, and I think the first thing I want to address is we're going to look at the launching of the First Ladies Foundation. We will look at the economic situation. We will look at the OIC and, everything that is happening in our country. And of course, UDP, we'll look at that also. UDP,
they are walking the ground.
So we'll talk about all of that. But first, I want to start with what's trending. What is trending? I think today in the Gambia is a Gambian sister. She's my sister. Isa Fati, Miaronko, Yamuta in Senegal. She was traveling on Saturday afternoon with our husband. They were celebrating their anniversary. They were going to Salimbur, and she was apprehended at the border by Senegalese authorities. So yeah, some Dakar, the cyber criminal unit. So allegedly, our ex-fiancé, they are going to court right now. Abdullah Cham, businessman, the proprietor of Imogam, Minyantara Disim Blue Billanujang, was annually, they were supposed to get married, and the case is in court. So we cannot talk about the details of that court, but she was traveling with our husband. She was apprehended. She was taken to the criminal unit in Dakar. Allegedly, what I know in this case is that Abdullah filed a complaint in 2021 when they broke off their engagement. Aisha had made a status on her, WhatsApp status, because Abdullah had arrested somebody. Aisha husband, a cousin, I mean arrest because I mean Aisha boyfriend Waltino. I will arrest in 2021 and in Senegal. So Kobe Katanupur Homari Bondi in jail Makino. So the guy got frustrated and I status Kekatandiko Nimang Nimbula Iba arrest come because of me, Nimabula. I have stuff on you, I'll pull it out. But in that status, she never mentioned his name and stuff like that. See, just that status. So Abdullah captured that. And I think also she did send him a private audio. Why are you doing that? Stuff like that. But that was back in 2021, those two things. But I think recently, a few months back, Abdullah also, there was something that was written online, Kafuko. Somebody was threatening Abdullah way over in South Africa. So Abdullah is alleging ko modora at the text kai ko nimang ila case withdraw against Aisha. We will expose stuff that we have on you. So I will allege ko mole senaite. But not that me realize there was a particular person me along ko abe South Africa won't negotiate talenum purka diamudi kafai ko in the mo alpha to probably ko bang negotiation. So Abdullah Kabatra police I will marry audio trying to negotiate between because Omari was negotiating. So I will link to the WhatsApp status text from South Africa. I say new connection was Mario connection was also allegedly maybe over to Isolea. So these are the three things I Mutamina. So first they wanted to do mandat depot, Kasama Kamuta, definitely until any time you can remand for court days to write. But the matter will change less. So right now she's going to court tomorrow. But Charles, I'm being told that the quality of our audio, can you look at it, please? Right now, she's going to court tomorrow. But there's a lot of stuff going on in this case. And, we don't want to go into details of the case, but the fact that Gambian Olom, there's a case ongoing here, Mimu Civil Suit Leti, there's ongoing, and it's really very far. But testimony is Bekeri. Now, this girl was arrested at the border post. I know this was something that happened in 2021. And people were saying, if somebody said to you, go, like in 2021, I threatened, but never carried that threat. But again, also, we believe this present government, Osman Sangonjola government, they may make a lot of injustice. What they went through, I know, but this procureur, in case Sambakang, is the same procureur me Osman Sonko Sorong. So a lot of people are in the system that hasn't changed. And people like this guy has connection to some of these people. So but the fact of the matter is, this girl is a Gambian. Mia Lonko ya apprehended. Obviously threats were made against her too by Abdullah Cham. But even in this country, she was arrested several times, kept in the police cells. In front of me, I knew about it. I had called the police. Another husband and him we are go that Abdullah Cham loko. It can no base on no land. Police station no 1 week. Boy ni ya sura ni passport na bla bla afamasa na fama fata. Amanta fama because police will passport ta. Okay. Me alone fama adate ni case to. Ala only problem I didn't move. So work it from la bank Aisha work it. So I don't expect government to do anything about this in Senegal. But I think Nila Bank of the Banda Mr. Manneh.
Exactly.
How do you call it? you know, these kind of things, you know. Don't you think the government will be saying, look, we're not interested in the details of the case, but this is a Gambia.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's
a high profile case. And then I mean, somebody said to me, look, I say I'll break a promise. Okay, Abdullah broke a promise of the entire Gambia. He was supposed to build our OIC hotel over how many 100 million. That is why we paid millions and millions and millions of dollars to pay private people to be able to host them. That's why some of the guests did not come, because there's no proper accommodation.
Absolutely.
He broke the promise of an entire country.
Exactly.
Now this girl broke our promise. That's a private business. Let them deal with that. But don't you think at some point government should also involve in this? I don't expect them because of Lamin Manneh. I don't expect it. But what do you think?
Yeah, what happens in these cases, because usually in this case we have the civil and apparently penal case.
Yeah.
So the penal case takes precedence over the civil. So what is here is a civil case.
Yeah.
What is in Senegal, apparently from what I hear, is a penal case. And that takes precedence, so that will have to be settled first.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what they are doing, they have not apparently been able to conclusively link anything to Aisha.
Yeah.
And she has a presumption of innocence.
Until
So they should prove that she has committed an offense.
Yeah.
Until then, she is considered innocent. That's first point.
Yeah.
Second point.
Charles, small sound is not good, please.
Yeah.
Everybody is saying sound.
Second point, why do they involve her husband in things that are concerning her?
Yeah.
In law, we call that vicarious liability.
Yeah.
You are not responsible for what somebody else does. That is absolute abuse of power.
Yeah.
So you cannot hold Aisha's husband responsible and arrest him for what Aisha has done or may not have done.
The police cannot do
Okay,
that.
and the police is an abuse of authority.
Yeah.
The police does not have that authority in the law. We do that to abuse of power. We saw that even in the Jammeh days. You do something, you disappear, they arrest your relatives, your father, your uncle, or whatever. It is wrong, because that is called vicarious liability, and that is not on.
Yeah.
I'm not responsible for what my son does if he's an adult. If he's a minor, I am. If he's an adult, I'm not responsible for what he does. My son is responsible for what I do.
Yeah.
So you cannot do that. Another point, the Gambia government has diplomatic representation in Senegal.
Yeah.
The embassy should have been on this case. Go find out. It is our citizen who has been arrested and taken to Senegal, to Dakar. Go find out what is the case, what is held against her.
Yeah.
And depending on the case against her, you go to diplomatic channels, or you contract the service of lawyers in Senegal, and you defend her. These are matters, Mia Alonko. Our government has always been timid on these sort of things.
Yeah.
And it cannot be. You represent the Gambians. The diplomatic missions are supposed to be there to represent the country and the citizens in that country.
Yeah.
So why aren't they representing us? Why aren't they talking to these people about Aisha? Because if they were, I think we would have heard that by now.
No, yeah.
So it means that they have not been talking to those people. So that is wrong.
I think someone was telling me that the minister was saying this is a private matter. I'm not sure about that, but that's what I'm told that the minister said on Coffee Time. This is a private matter. This is your citizen in another country.
It's not a private matter here, because it is a Gambian citizen detained outside the country. So you have diplomatic representation at that point that should play.
Yeah.
And also, there are still a lot of rogue magistrates in the Senegalese system. It will take Pasteur years to weed them out. So these might be people who are trying to upset the agenda of Pasteur.
Yeah.
They were doing these rogue activities before, so they continue. Who knows if that magistrate has ties with that Abdullah Jam, and they are doing this. And Pasteur wouldn't want to jump into the fight straight away and say, okay, we're going to stop this, because they will be accused of interfering in the judiciary. So they will probably wait for the Gambian government to take up the issue.
And we're already hearing this. We're already hearing this, that tomorrow, because Flagrandeli, I don't know how they call it, Flagrandeli, she's going to court tomorrow, and most likely the judge is supposed to give a verdict tomorrow, because they have all studied the case, right? But we are being told they are going to adjourn it to a longer day to continue keeping her, because that's what this guy wants. We already know about this. The lawyers, we have heard about it. The lawyers have, so they're trying to prepare Aisha's mind that this is what they're doing. And it's even all over social media, people that are supporting are saying it. If something like this is happening, you think our government should just continue keeping quiet?
No. I mean,
You see, I just wanted to say something about it, the flagrant délit.
Yeah.
The flagrant délit in the French legal system is when you are caught in the act, committing an act.
Yeah.
That is flagrant délit. You are caught in the act. She apparently has not been caught in any act threatening this guy or whatever. So why do you use flagrant délit? And if you use flagrant délit, the case should be sped up. So they should deal with this case quickly. So why would they remand her for a longer time? Yeah. Anyway, we'll come back to that. Sorry for the interruption.
Like I said, I mean, diplomatically, I think the government should be involved to find out, because that's why we have the embassy in Senegal. And Aisha and her family and the lawyer should be able to reach out to the embassy to find out what's happening. And they should be giving that support to find, even when there's an issue. Yes, the embassy is involved.
Yeah.
And I have been involved in a number of cases in UAE with the embassy staff when these people have, they go visit them, they do this, they do so that moral support is something that the embassy should provide, and any other support, okay, whether it's legal representation or recommendation, to make sure that we get to the bottom of this issue. Now, it's a civil issue between two grown-ups that had a relationship in the past, and I think the law is very clear on some of these things. So using a rogue magistrate or somebody who is going to support an interest of somebody over the other person, I think that should be of the past now. In Senegal and in Gambia, it should not happen.
It should not.
It should not happen.
Well, it happened in Gambia. So I don't expect anything from this government. That's the fact, because I know how she was treated in her own country.
Okay.
At some point, her husband, I spoke to him this morning, yesterday he said he felt like they were getting more support in Senegal than in Gambia. Because there were people that were really also supporting her. But in Gambia, she was kept for days during, I'm saying it, IGP Abdoulaye Sanyang's time. Okay. She was kept for days together with her husband, and they would bail her, and she goes home, and even though my charge, ikamutale for days, anakema. Ya muta for days, ya la telephone ka force ikaiko ila motora sunyatale. Second ikaiko Interpol lemki that ikamutale for days ya bula. I say, yana ko take ya komanda na ke mai arrest for days. Ya la passport ka ya netalo ta tate ke border to pura kana fit. Ya intimidate months. Aisha, more can you mean Aisha was the one who sued the IGP. She was the one. It's not the IGP who took her to court. Good. It was Aisha who sued the IGP for arrest all the time, invite for questioning, she sued them.
Yeah.
It went to court. It had a focabular case the judge, I think the judge ruled ko ye moto ni fewel diala because he might charge for it mo mutal come minke bora rek ye mo muta iba commande la every day ka investigate la for months he might charge. Judge ruling ko ya moto diala before the day before the judge la ruling. That was when Abdoulaye Cham went and filed a civil suit against Aisha. And then il lawyer tariataka injunction of Nimi Jojo will prove motor ninkana release. But it was Aisha who sued the IGP. IGP sula. But because I make a IGP so. So when in case do wulu. But Binkitala in Bangkok as Nenta Senela Mobialo. Ya mutale over 15 times. 15 times. Anytime you are keep for 3 days. You are 5 sell. You know, when she's going for Nakata, in police will invite Nakata and take SGB and Kafo. No, Nakata for Kerr Fatou, Mange, them, the Mayu Suma Baja, Hamad and Mati. She goes prepared with her sweatpants and all Bajo because I'm not going to Mutala.
Yes.
A fellow Bangkoka. So you don't expect anybody to do anything for her when she's in Senegal anyway.
But we have to speak up against that and fight that sort of abuse of power, because that must end in this country.
In this country.
And it is why I totally applaud her for suing the IGP.
She did that.
We should start suing the police and suing them personally.
Yeah.
Not the state. Yeah. Suing these police authorities who arrest wrongfully.
Yeah.
They are not above the law.
No, they're not.
They're not above the law, so the law must apply to everybody in this country indiscriminately.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's why I'm so happy Abdoulaye Sanneh is not IGP anymore. I hope this new IGP, turns a new leaf. Because the way Abdoulaye Sanneh handled that office, to be honest,
I hope so. But if he doesn't, we go out, we sue him as well.
Yeah.
That is what we should do in this country. Because, you see, the law should apply to every Gambian in the same manner. And the law should protect every Gambian.
Yeah.
We did not fight 22 years of dictatorship to go back to that sort of thing.
Yeah.
We want to be able to respect the police in what they do. And I keep saying that most of the police in this country are doing a great job.
Yeah.
But you have a few rogue elements there too. And when they do those rogue activities, we have to go after them.
Yeah.
Yeah, arresting people every time
that is harassment and intimidation.
That should be in the past. Something of the past.
Exactly. That should be in the past. We should not be thinking about it anymore.
Living like that.
And the state, the Gambian government should and must know that they work for the Gambian people. And we must take them on about that every single time they step out of line.
And this, is important for us always. And some people say, oh, it's important when these things in this new Gambia, if somebody is going through injustice, for Aisha Lombang, for Lamin Manneh Lamin, for Fatou to speak about it. Because exactly.
But you see,
it needed us because you see people choose who to defend and who not to defend. It doesn't matter in our marila past community. It's because now that we have the voice to speak, we must speak against injustice and things that are happening in a very disciplined way.
But you see, Gambians should learn from this past. Yesterday, Usman Sonko was sentenced to 20 years in jail. And there are other cases coming. And what they must realize is with this universal jurisdiction, you are not safe anywhere if you commit offenses, serious offenses against people. When those cases happen, the International Criminal Court and such institutions where you have universal jurisdiction and they're after you, they would issue arrest warrants and they are sealed. You would not know until when you step out, you get to a border, you go to an airport, they nab you there.
Just in the case of Usman.
Exactly.
From
So
Sweden to
the
Sweden.
people who are committing the offenses here should know that some of them will be nabbed outside the country. You could be protected here, but if you step out, you could be nabbed now or in a few years' time, but you will account for it.
It catches up. It catches up with you.
And we do not want to see our citizens, particularly our authorities, being harassed, being arrested everywhere. But you have to do what is required to protect yourself. Because if you don't, this malfeasance will catch up with you.
See, I see people saying in the comment section, someone is saying, but what can the government do? Look, we have seen in Russia, when Americans are arrested, the football player that was arrested with illegal stuff, she did something illegal. But the American government even had to swap her with the most dangerous prisoners who are dangerous to everybody in the world. But that single life, that American single life is very important to America. That's what good citizens, that's what good governments do for their citizens. It doesn't matter what she has done.
The embassy should do everything.
They should make sure our rights are protected. They visit her, provide her legal service, and update the citizen as to, because Nimu high profile case leti. Because our case Bekorla, Animimbe Dilkang is a very powerful person
in
Senegal and in Gambia. We'll discuss that.
Exactly.
We know who calls Ablai Cham daddy in this country.
Everybody knows
We know that. We will come to that. But the fact of we know daddy. We know. We know in this country. But the fact of the matter is, because she's a Gambian, the Gambian government should, at least the representatives should visit her. Know our condition, father, in good condition. Make sure to see if she has legal representative. That's what we are saying.
That's minimum.
That's what they can do. But this is their citizen. And they cannot provide that.
Embassies owe their citizens abroad a duty of care. You should be able to protect them. If they have committed an offense, then you know that they've done something wrong, the law will follow its course. But even there, you try to help them through diplomatic channels. If it doesn't work, you get legal assistance for them to be refunded by their family or whatever later on. But you do that for them. You do not just abandon them. You see, this government has to realize that one day they will be history. They will be gone. Exactly.
Jomai that was sent to Mandate Depot for 10 months without any court dates.
And today, ministers in Senegal are sitting on eggs.
Former ministers.
Former ministers.
Yes.
They are sitting on eggs because they are being, all the audit reports which came out, which were brushed under the carpet, are coming out now. all the illegal dealings in land and other things are coming out and they will be prosecuted.
Yeah.
And a number of them are going to end up in jail.
Yeah.
We do not wish to see our ministers and former authorities ending up in jail, but you have to do the right thing.
Yeah.
You have to stand by the Gambian and make sure that you protect them. That is why you are in government.
Yeah.
That's why you are elected. Or that's why you are appointed by a president to be a minister or to be an ambassador. You have a duty to this country.
Yeah.
But that is if you understand what is to serve.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
If you don't understand what is serving means,
Yeah.
And that's why we should remind them.
Serving.
you have to serve the people.
You have to serve.
And if they don't know that,
If they don't know that,
or they don't care about it, you have to remind them.
you have to remind
Exactly.
them.
The point is, every diplomatic mission of the Gambia is there to serve Gambia.
Yeah.
And who is Gambia? The
Gambian
Gambians.
people.
Gambian people.
Yeah.
So one of your citizens, it doesn't matter whatever the issues around it,
Yeah.
the job of the embassy should be followed to the letter.
To the letter.
Now, whether she is released or not, you must perform the functions of the embassy in Senegal.
Yeah.
So if she was arrested at the border, now, I don't know what time we got to know about her arrest and all that.
Yeah.
From there, they should start communicating.
Yeah, exactly.
With the family, this is what is happening, this is what is happening, until the case is over.
Yes.
Because she's a Gambian arrested in Senegal.
Yeah.
And they are representing Gambia in Senegal.
Yeah.
The ambassador is the president of Gambia in Senegal. For all Gambians in Senegal.
Absolutely.
Whether you're visiting or transit or you're a resident.
Yeah.
So the responsibility of the ambassador and his team is to make sure every Gambian in the territory of Senegal is protected and looked after.
Yeah, and I can tell you officially, the family have reported the case to the Gambian embassy. They have told them, "God, this is what is happening." They have also gone to the IGP's office and reported. In fact, there were times that we have audios of Abdullah also threatening Aisha. And that was reported to the IGP's office also, just to be on the record. Since the government have not been seen to be doing something, it was also officially reported just to put it on the table. Maybe from there they will do something. I don't expect anything. Because of what I know. But you know, Aisha will tell her story. If she's jailed for 1 year, even if it's 2 years, she will be released one day. And she will tell her story. But before she comes out, we will tell her story. Because we know a lot about this incident. So we will tell her story.
We need to continue.
Speaking out. It doesn't matter what's happening.
Keeping it in the limelight.
Let's keep it on that. Let's talk about it. She's a Gambian.
It could happen to me. It could happen to you tomorrow.
Exactly.
I'm talking about him right now. Before coming to this show, someone was threatening me that I should stop talking because, you know, I'm like, and who
is Abdullah Cham?
Who is Abdullah Cham? So these are, before coming to this, so these are some of them. So we're going to keep talking about this.
We should.
But we know a lot of stuff that we will talk about. So until she's released, tomorrow we know she's going to court. What we are expecting that they will move the case again, because that's what he's telling his people, that case be done do 6 months. That's what I like.
So he has already got prison.
Yeah, so we are hearing that.
Yes,
we are hearing that.
So that's the element I'm talking about.
Yes, it's pre-examined already.
Yeah, we're hearing that. But you know, we are lucky. He has a very supportive husband he's in Senegal. I don't know how he does all of this, but you know, they're there with the sisters. So hopefully, something positive comes out of this.
Inshallah.
Now, everyone is asking who calls him daddy. I'll tell you one day. Now, let's talk about another thing that was trending, Mr. Manneh, is the First Lady officially launched her foundation. See, we don't talk about the First Lady, but we should talk about the First Lady.
She is the personality.
Because she's a public figure. She's the president's wife. She launched her foundation. This foundation, the FAB Foundation, has been here for the past 7 years. She's been bringing stuff to the hospital. She's been doing donations to the needy, people that were sick. She's been doing a lot in the community. Now, there was a time, there was some allegations about some 35 million that was deposited in her account.
Yes.
The government tried to clear up to say, it was some money that was supposed to be for tickets and all the stuff. There were a lot of things that were said. Now, I just saw that the First Lady officially launched the foundation. And one of the donors, they said a Nigerian billionaire, pledges $1 million. That's about almost $70 million. Now, the First Lady's foundation was working for the past 7 years. You and I know that in developed countries, in America and others, when a sitting first lady cannot have a foundation because it's against it's when you leave office that you have a foundation.
Potential conflict of interest.
Because people that will give you money, they want benefits from inducement.
Yeah. As that.
So it's not accepted. Now here, people do it, right? Even though, I don't know whether our law says it's right or wrong, they do it. But as a public official, when you take money on behalf of the Gambian people, because the foundation is to support vulnerable people, the Gambian people, should there be some form of accountability when it comes to the First Lady's Foundation? Now we are going to speak about the First Lady and the foundation. She's a public office just like our husband. I think today is the day we're going to start it, and I will continue doing that because it's important.
Absolutely. She is a public figure. It goes with the territory, as I said. If you are a public figure, you expect people to talk about you.
Yeah.
And we will. And if you take public funds, you are supposed to be accountable for those funds. What is being given to her, we need to know what is the source.
Yeah.
We need to know what is being used for. That is important. She starts a foundation 7 years ago. 7 years down the line is when we do the official launching. For me, that alone is like, wait a minute, what's happening here?
Red flags.
Red flags, all over, yeah. Secondly, this Nigerian gentleman gives her $1 million. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah.
Gives her $1 million. So for me, the red flags, is he resident in the Gambia? Does he have a legitimate business in the Gambia? What is he looking for in the Gambia? Why is he donating $1 million to the foundation of a first lady? And to compound it all, I hear that he's in oil exploration.
Oil exploration, the guy?
Yes.
Oh.
So I hope you do not find him on the Jato and Malo and Samo oil fields here. Because that would spark corruption.
Okay.
You see, when you have those kind of foundations, you're not supposed to be taking funding from abroad because there is an illegality in there, particularly for a public figure.
Yeah.
You cannot take funding from abroad. You can raise funding within the country and do it. If you start taking funding from abroad, there are red flags up already, particularly from a businessman.
Yeah.
As a first lady, you should shy away from that. You should not allow that because you're staining your husband's character. You're staining the Gambia's reputation. If that gentleman gives her $1 million, it should be audited. It should be checked where the funds are coming from, where is his business established in the Gambia, is he a registered business owner in the Gambia, etc. All of those things should be made available to the public.
But Mr. Manneh, before we come to this gentleman, 7 years ago, the foundation has been donating to the Gambians.
Yes.
Now, if you go to RVTH, we have seen a lot of stuff the First Lady has been doing there.
Yeah.
People are bringing hospital beds, people are giving rice, people are giving stuff, and she allegedly she's helping other people. I don't know, but that's what it's alleged. She's doing a lot. I don't know. But where is that money coming from? Who is accounting for those monies? That 35 million that they said was in her account, the government, we haven't had anything. And we talked about it for 2 weeks and that's it, that was it.
Yeah, and that is my problem. Because the gentleman who paid that money into her account ended up getting a married contract. So that was already another red flag.
Oh.
So that should not have happened.
The electricity project.
Yes, but again, doing these social projects in the country is commendable. If you do it in the proper way. We need to know where are those funds coming from to finance those. If it's coming from the state, it should not be, because if it's the medical sector, it should go to the Ministry of Health. The Ministry of Health should be doing those. If she can mobilize funding locally by holding events and raising funds to finance those things, that's fine. But the funds should not come from public officials or public institutions or from abroad. And what we heard from the press releases, they said a number of ministers were there and they donated money. Is it from their pockets? Is it from their votes in the ministries? We need to know that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's from their pocket, I hope so. But if you're a sitting minister, you go to the event, an event organized by the First Lady, and you give funding there, that is already unethical. So you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be seen to do it either. We have a very opaque system here, and we do not call our public officials to account, and we do not denounce what they do wrong.
Yeah.
The minister who does that is a way of securing his position somewhere.
Yep.
It's a way of making sure that he is in the good books of the president and the first lady. Just like we denounced at the time, Jobate, you see, I think it's Jobate, the guy at ports, going to build a police station in
Mankunda. When the ferry is stuck, there's no ferry.
Exactly. That is the responsibility of the Ministry of Interior. Ports has no business doing that. But that was probably a way for him to secure his position at the head of ports. That should not happen. So you see, these things should be done according to the law. We should enforce the law. And the Minister of Justice is sitting there. He is the first legal advisor of the President. He should tell the President, Mr. President, this is a problem. And the President did tell us that when the Minister of Justice tells him, Mr. President, this is a no-go, he said he drops it. I heard him in an interview where he said that. So why is the Minister of Justice not telling him these things? I mean, these are simple things for any first, second-year law student. Why isn't he telling him these things?
No, you know, to have a foundation. Is in our context. There's a lot of foundations in this country. Private foundations, and they're doing a good job. The First Lady can say, yes, I want to have a foundation to help the needy. And there's a constitution, there's an operating manual, there's a structure, there's a corporate governance within it, where some of these things will go through. Now, the question now is, in that corporate governance structure, what is the provision on sourcing of funding? Who qualifies to donate to the foundation of a politician, especially the First Lady? That should be very, very clear. Because if not, inducements. It will be flooded with inducements. And for somebody to come to Gambia and say, I'm putting 1 million into the foundation of the First Lady, that's a benefit.
Nobody puts just 1 million like that.
Exactly. There's a benefit expected somewhere. There's an expectation. No doubt about it. I don't know where it's going to come from. I don't know what his objectives are. I don't know him. I'm just hearing this. I saw it in the newspapers. Yes, that's going to be something like that. We had it in 2017-18, the one you alluded to.
Yes, and he's saying that person got the Nawe contract.
I was here. And yes, $750,000, I think. Went into the foundation account. And for the operational expenditure for the foundation, I don't know what it is for. But where did it come from? Why giving you $750,000 at that point? At that particular point in time, which was very new. The administration was very new. Again, questions. Okay. So these are things that, look, there's no wrong to say I have a foundation. But then, if you're raising money, you are raising money for a purpose. Now, coming back to my earlier point, the governance structure is very important. Okay? If you want that moral high standard, you need to look at the people who sit at that governance structure. And the ethical part of it is, where do you get the money from? If you get that right, the audit you are asking will not be necessary, because they will do annual reports. To say that this year we raised $10 million, this is how we spend it. Prepare a magazine and publish it. They don't have to be audited, but they can publish it for public information. They can have general meetings where people could come in, beneficiaries could come in to see to attest that these people are helping us. So so foundation for me is a bit tricky. If you ask me, should it happen? It should not happen. It should not happen. I'm not a fan of First Lady Foundation. After office, yes, then it's clear. It's after office. But not during the tenure of the presidency of your husband.
For governance purposes.
For governance purposes. If you can get the governance right, yes. The question is, can you get it right? We talked about serving. Ministers giving money. How much are they paid?
Because they buy it from their budgets, right?
No, you cannot use the military budget and say, I'm going to give it to First Lady Foundation. You can't do that. You can't do that. You have a budget. The budget is approved for certain expenditure under your ministry. Unless if you put their donations and you want to use it from the donations. But the question is,
in that case, Parliament should kill it.
Exactly. You said people give materials and equipment to the foundation.
Yeah.
I can come in today and say, you are doing something for women, and I really see myself in it, and it's a cause that I want to support. I can put my money as a citizen. I can do that. Somebody else can say, okay, I've seen the equipment that you need for this hospital. I'm donating to the foundation, for foundation to give it to the hospital. Those things are acceptable because the equipment is sourced already. It's a material part you are given. But putting $1 million cash for me, with my background, that raises a lot of questions. I will ask questions.
You will ask questions.
Serious questions.
And I think that's why we're asking questions. 7 years, we have had stuff. For me, I've always said, look, that's the first lady, let's give her time. You know, she's a woman, she's a lady, let's give her time. But now it's time to ask questions.
Yeah.
The foundation have been officially launched. They have been operating for the past 5 years. We haven't seen any activity report. We haven't seen any accountability showing us this is what they have spent.
The structure, I'm saying again, you know, if you have a foundation and you say the governance structure is we have a governing council that the foundation reports to annually.
Yeah.
On reporting. That governing council can say, okay, we want this report to be put in the form of a report or magazine, so that we communicate with the public that we are serving and the people giving us money to know how we're spending the money. That can happen. So that's why I said you can have that. People don't need to ask why are you putting the money. If you had structured in a way that the governance is very clear, the reporting is very clear. So you communicate because you started, the foundation was formed to help people, right? To support people.
To support Gambian people. And it's raised on behalf of the Gambian people.
So they need to know.
Because she's a serving first lady.
Exactly.
When she was a private citizen, she didn't have a foundation.
Yes.
Now, if we have asked questions, we are within our rights.
Yes.
Because she's our first lady. She's serving.
Yeah.
If she is a former first lady or a private citizen, we would not have asked.
Exactly.
Because there are so many people who are foundations.
Yeah.
And we're not asking. They're not collecting money on our behalf. But she is. And we will ask these questions. I think
because I don't think she had a foundation.
No, she never had a foundation.
Pre-2016.
No, she did not.
Yeah.
No, I did not.
Why not?
Never had a
Why
foundation.
not?
Because she was not a public figure.
Simple as that.
She was a private citizen.
You answered yourself then.
Yeah. So if she has
Why
that
not
foundation,
2015, 2014? Just set up a foundation.
Because she was a private citizen.
and what you would see in this kind of situations, now that they've launched it officially, next report will have a gala somewhere, and you'll have ministries and the like buying tables
Yeah, that was done.
to be there. And that's not coming from the minister's pocket. It's most likely coming from the ministry budget. And that budget has not been voted by a parliament for those sort of things. So it should not go there. If a bank in the country here or some institution, insurance or whatever, decides from out of corporate social responsibility, they want to put money in this to support it, they are free to do that.
And I think those should be the target.
Yes,
Yes.
but not public institutions, not public personalities. So you cannot have a ministry buying a table at a First Lady's gala. You cannot have ministers donating money there. It is inducement. It is illegal. So that cannot and should not happen. But we see it and we close our eyes to it, and it's time we call it out.
It's time we speak about this.
Because if we don't, it's going to fester.
Yep.
And it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
So I've seen cases in Africa, you know, when I was at the ADB, I traveled a lot in different places. I've seen cases where when the first ladies or people like that organize these sort of things, everybody's scrambling.
You have space. It's tight.
Because you have to get in there. If you don't,
And you have to be seen.
you have to be seen to be there.
It's not get there. You have to be seen.
Yeah.
So otherwise, they get a list of people who are there. Those who
No,
will come there, they are sanctioned.
No, you were saying this, and it reminds me exactly when during Jammeh's time, when the first lady used to do a gala. I was the head of marketing in Gamtel. You know, when they don't even ask. We want to rush them to go and be the main sponsor of the first lady's gala dinner because you want to be seen to be recognized
Exactly.
in front of the first lady because
Yeah.
that's the most highest decision-making body,
Yes.
the president's wife.
So you know what our problem is, Fatou?
Yeah.
Governance.
Governance.
So we guess.
Yeah.
Because if you have a proper governance structure, those things can be addressed easily. Because, for example, Gamcel, yeah, a telecom company. You have CSR activities you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, the first lady has a gala dinner to raise money for New Year babies or whatever.
Yeah.
You can support that project.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah.
You can support that project by not buying a table.
Yeah. But giving direct to the beneficiary.
Diaper,
Yeah.
milk, Cerelac, basket, hamper. To on the 1st of January, you take 100 to her.
Yeah.
While she's going to the hospital, she can go and give it to the new baby. You are not buying the table.
Yes, they do.
But at least, because you know, you can support in different ways, Fatou.
Yeah.
This issue of bypassing governance and just do this and you do, it should stop. That's our problem. People just execute. Somebody tells them do this and you run. You don't even ask questions.
Yeah.
Because most of our public entities, if you look at their governance structures, are weak. It's weak.
It's weak.
Who are they? They don't even understand why they're there, some of them. They just go there to collect board fees. They don't ask any questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where it starts.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's...
So you see, the government is a reflection of us.
Yeah.
When we hold them to account, when we are demanding, they will change. But as long as Gambians say, oh, it's normal, it's okay, it will continue to get worse. If we start asking questions and getting the proper governance, as we said, in place, things will start changing. We see it today in Senegal.
Yeah.
Pastef is putting in place governance structures everywhere.
Yeah.
It's putting in place structures to ensure that the rule of law is complied with. And this Aisha case, for example...
That's why it saddens me that this is happening under their administration, even though it's not they are making. They have people in the system who, you know...
Yes.
So far, you talked about this just before.
Yeah.
I don't want to cut you.
Yeah.
That what happened in Gambia, you still have what Gambia system still in place.
Yeah.
In place after how many years?
That's true.
So you got people get arrested for no reason. You get detained for no reason.
Yeah.
You don't have any answers. They take you off you, they release you,
Yeah.
they arrest you again to intimidate you.
Yeah.
So it's a culture.
Yeah.
You know, I keep saying, until we get to a certain point, we confront each other on some of these issues and rebuild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will not get anywhere. So what you see in Senegal is the beginning.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
It's going
They're going to change the system.
Yeah.
But it will take them time.
Yes.
Unfortunately for Aisha,
Yeah.
she got in the wrong side of it.
Yeah.
And she's going to have to wait for that to happen.
Yeah.
But back home, the biggest problem we have is leadership.
Leadership.
People don't take leadership.
Leadership.
You get a job, you are the MD, you don't do what is right for the institution. You serve somebody's interest.
You serve
Somebody's interest.
Instead of the
not
people.
the institution that pays your salary. At the detriment of that institution. Gamtel.
Yeah.
Gamcel. Should they be struggling? All the telecoms are making money. Gamcel is struggling. Why? Why?
And
So we need to ask ourselves questions.
Yeah.
Africell is making how much money?
Yeah.
Why can't Gamcel make the same amount of money? or more?
Exactly.
And they were here before. Again, leadership.
and they own the infrastructure.
Leadership is our problem.
Talking about leadership now, let's come to your area. Leadership.
No, it's
You
not
were
me. I've been-
the CEO of the. See, I see a lot of people saying Fatou speak in Mandinka and mix because we want our people to hear.
sure.
But I don't know. Sometimes I get confused.
Yeah.
When I speak Mandinka, the other people will say speak Wolof or speak English.
So you
We're
mix
not
it.
hearing.
You can
So it's
mix it.
confusing.
You can
We'll
mix
mix.
it.
We'll
Yeah.
try to do our best and mix it. But talking about leadership, let's look at the OIC. We just concluded the OIC. I see a lot of reactions. I know Mr. Manneh's opinion already. I saw his opinion. But I have seen Honorable Mama Kande said this is the worst organized OIC ever in the history of the OIC. He said, he was not generous to the organizers.
Yeah.
I have seen also the secretariat saying this is the best ever happening organization in the Gambia. That's what Fali said. The government said they're satisfied with the organization, but a lot of people said no. Now, Lamin, you were to remind the viewers, you were the CEO of the OIC Gambia when it started. You led with your team the mobilization of resources, started negotiations, set up the OIC office itself. At some point you resigned. We talked about that, you know, and based on moral issues, when you spoke to me that you don't want to be dictated, you want to walk based on what you believe, and that was some of the leadership. And you know,
and responsibility.
I remember telling Nyanjay, boy, Nyang, your halis bu bari bi nga bay nga resign do pala bi sade mi nga xamne international la liggéey nga resign. But you know, because if you know the salary, you know, I'm telling him, why did you resign? You are not taking salary, so let me just make that clear at the beginning.
I did it for free for 18 months.
Yes.
I never collected a boutique.
Yes.
But again, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You have to thank you. You know, we came from a difficult time after 22 years, and the country needs rebuilding. We have to make sacrifices.
Yeah.
At the time, we did sacrifices. 2018, 2017 December, when they called me, I was doing a project in Iraq.
Yeah.
Okay? And I was paid a lot of money.
Yes.
But I had to find a way to excuse myself to serve my country because we needed it.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. You take responsibility in whatever you are given and do it to the best of your ability. And don't look at Manneh is going to be happy with me or Manneh is not. We were at that point. When I took over the OIC, I was not joking. No. I meant it. And I put my sweat and my effort to move it. I built the secretariat from zero.
Yes.
There was nothing. Nothing. Not a programmer. I wrote the framework. I did. Even before I came. I sent it home. And I gave options. That was my thinking.
Yeah.
When we met for the boss meeting, the board approved one of the options. And I was very clear that we cannot have a in Gambia and the country does not benefit.
Yeah.
So what do we need as a country? What can we get from these projects?
Yeah.
What can we get from hosting these big boys coming to Gambia? We did not come up with just say, oh, we are going to build a hotel. No, there was a need for it. Everything we did at that point in time was based on after the summit. Not for the summit.
Not for the
I
summit.
was not building for the summit.
You were building after the summit.
I was building for after the summit sustainability for the country. How much can we get revenues, people coming to Gambia continuously until infinity? But I was not building for the summit. And to do that, I was using the summit to raise that money.
You started the mobilization. I remember when we spoke here, you talked about, you know, this is not for just today. This is for Gambia to host more international summits. The projects are going to go beyond the OIC. You promised so much that I was like, Lamin, can you do all of this? We talked about it, and you told me you started mobilizing resources. Now let's look at mobilization during your time, the time you guys were there. How much money did you guys mobilize at that time, resources? What were some of the biggest things?
So let me explain this. Resource mobilization is the most difficult work in project financing, whether it's sovereign or it's private.
Yeah.
Sovereign means government for our viewers. So to mobilize money, you need to be prepared.
Okay.
We're not talking about small money here. The smallest amount we had for this conference during my time was $3 million.
The lowest.
The lowest.
Okay.
In fact, for the projects. That was for the office.
That was for the operational of the office,
The projects, when we looked at generally the time frame we had 18 months to prepare for the summit. What was possible?
Yeah.
So we came up with 5 projects, which was going to change Gambia into an international conference destination to add to our tourism product. We are known for the 3S. Now, if you add C to it, it makes it different. And that is year round.
Yeah.
It's not seasonal.
Okay.
Conferences are all over the place.
Yes.
Every year, every week you can have a conference.
Yeah.
And to start with, we looked at the member countries. So we created groups, blocks, the deep pockets, the medium, and the lowest. Okay? So the deep pockets are the big boys. And we need them to come to the summit. And how can you bring them to the summit? You get them committed. to support your projects, and they will come and see the projects themselves. So our resource mobilization started with those 5, 10, 6 boys, or I call it the men of the OIC, the Saudis, the Kuwait, UAE, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, and that group.
Yeah.
Okay? So each of the 5 projects we identified. First, you cannot host an international conference without water.
Water.
At the time, we were having shortages of water. I called Fatajo. Then he was MD of NAVEC.
Yeah.
I said, Baba, nah. I'm going to get Mina. He came. I said to him, Baba, we are going to host this summit. How can we get a new water system to add to what we have for the greater Banjul area? So it was not for this area.
Yeah.
So it was all the way to Banjul.
It was to Banjul.
So and I said, what is our problem with the power? Because we cannot host without power.
Yeah.
And he said, we lost about 28% of what we produce through transmission and distribution. I said, okay, how do we fix that? He said, we need investment in the grid. I said, how much you need? He said, I'll write to you. He went. 2 days after, I called him again. Again, this is what I'm saying. The commitment and the leadership, I called him again.
Yeah.
I said, Baba, what's happening? He said, Nani. Nani is watching. I'm sure he's watching.
Yes.
He's now the Minister for Energy.
Yeah.
Nani came and gave me 8 million for the grid. I said, no, let's move it to 10. Contingency, inflation, and stuff like that. So let's move it to 10 so that we can do more. Okay? And water was about 18 points. I said, look, no, let's move it to 22. They came back, work it around. We said 22.5. Contingencies, because I had to add contingencies into these calculations.
Yeah.
But this is what I do for a living. So I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And we agreed that 10 million will be for the electricity, 22.5 for the new borehole, 9 boreholes in Sanyang, and the distribution network for the treatment plant, new treatment plant, tanks and stuff like that to pump into the system. So we put that aside. So that's 2. Then we said, if you come to Banjul Airport, our VIPs. So we need a new lounge. And we came up with different thoughts and said, I said, we don't need only a VIP lounge. Just you come, you sit and drink coffee, and then they pick you, you go into the car. We need to add a bit of flair to it. We have a conference center there. We have a resting room. Again, I'm thinking, after the summit, we can sell that.
We can sell that.
And I'm also thinking the president is going to be the chair of the OIC. Some summits, small 3-4 countries can meet at the airport and have their meeting there, and they fly back. They don't have to come to town because the facilities at the airport. Conference registration center in the VIP ground floor, where you have immigration. You have this, so when people come for conference, they don't have to go through that. They just come there, do their entrance, and then they can register for the conference, get their conference pack or badges or tag or whatever. 10 million or so. I said, okay. We did the design and agreed. Road.
Yeah.
It's a problem. Traffic is bad.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, what do we do? So in that, at that time, the MDP was being developed.
Yeah.
So there were some roads that they had. So I took it from Amadou. I said, Amadou, Badoma Ninta. It is focus jang, then focus jang. Go on the NDP National Development Plan.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in so up to 50 kilometers. The costing, we did not have 1 million as a cost. No.
You did not have 1 million as the cost for the roads?
I'll tell you, it's technical. Listen to me carefully.
Yeah.
When we did the costing, it was around 650, 700.
650, 700.
We pushed it to 1 million.
Okay.
That we could do more roads when we get the money.
Exactly.
Well, nanga wake wala hakilolam. Nindo ko manke dia ngoti de. Londo ni ferolo bije. Mo be mano.
Yeah.
Okay. So we put that aside, we put all this there. Battle had it. It's 22 kilometers. We left it at 1 million. Why? We wanted to do the green lane, to green both sides. We wanted to put a lane for the pedestrians where people can ride bicycle and that. So there were a lot of facilities that we wanted to do on the side of the road. So people can exercise here, walk around and do a lot of things. So that's why I'm able 1 million at the time. There's a lot of back and forth. But I pushed it to 25 million. Because when I went looking for the money, I asked for 25 million. I did not ask for 22 million. Why? I was hoping if we get the 25 million, we can go maybe 50 meters in.
25 million or 2.5?
25 million.
25 million, okay, yeah, okay.
We could do more of the road streets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe 50 meters in.
Yeah.
You know? So that was what was behind my mind.
Yeah.
So I'm coming on.
Yeah.
Okay, but the technicians knew what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So then the hotel.
Yeah.
So we have to have a hotel.
Okay.
Now I'll explain.
Hotel. Italy cham nati bamfo.
Ndawan cham nati.
Okay, go ahead.
Cham ngamara sinya ngamde jaborsa. Hotel. Sorry. Bininte nata. Monkey Park.
Monkey Park.
Nanam fo hakulo bakan.
Yes, Monkey Park issue, yes.
Monkey Park dia volta. Na anti yang kumande. Ako Lamin nata ako malafi. Ito itaraji Monkey Park problem ako. Ko dia mo shadal do itara be janya ton kaya. Yalon conference center koma. Hotel nyanda wala ntema wala taranu njak.
Wala no.
Don time so leni project start no wala taranu mon sakunda bulu.
Bulu
But dia mo shad. So ngalla mo nanti lan kaya okay ngamoy la. Ako go sort it out. I know you can do it. So nin nyang sita. Ngo nyang yo nyang. This Monkey Park issue. We cannot host a summit with that environment.
Yeah.
People come here protesting with placards and stuff like that, animal rights. I'm not going to be head of that. So, no. We'll find a solution. I went to see the president. Guy go, Ning Monkey Park problem the summit of host nola. Madlado jube. Ko Lamin abula jube. Sa yemin kala. Tay nim bay Lamin si ale lado jube. Wala do jube wala si ja. Nata je. Then by Lamin and then the then project manager Koli. Ibrahim Kola, Minister of Works.
Yeah.
Nata je. But labe ya important data tanje. Lado be tanje data sanimental ko lado bi jengo lado be jube. Ko ko dan teral. Then correct. But Jambilu ya Jambela property lokono. So he was part of the assets MNCs. I mean Kidioto. Ntaman sembo so pour ga wando. But man sakunda left I use for the hotel. So mtara president ngadula jel nga be expert ko nyora time bakara nyadi. Nga ngamra ni justice safe. Wali jana commission safe. Jana commission ye court safe. Ba so to bawo government left ta. Abakara government asset lati. It's a very okay. Ale makoy coordinator jibe ko yes. Government left ta la. Ba dira man sakunda. Ya dinna wol nyama pour ma hotel loje. Ba wado di am dije. Up to September 2019, we remember hala. Complain na naman nanto yako modo tamjan. So yung project lulol ni wala ulta from April 2018.
Okay.
Alay makoy. Na 10 million soto Saudi fund for airport.
Yeah.
Na 10 million soto 10.5 number for courant. TND.
Yeah.
Na 22.5 million soto for Geo. 22.5 million and 10 million so wala.
That's all. Okay.
Grant. So we can na mi tas nyafula. Ko nyal so nyal. 50 kilometer, 50 million.
Yeah. So
total will be add. Okay? That's about what? 50 plus 10, 60 plus 32, right? About 92.5, 94 million.
94 million.
Now we signed in 2019 around May, June or something like that.
Okay.
No, yeah, Parliament ratified around the time. Sorry.
Around that time. Okay.
Because Grant Bijele, which is the 32.5 million plus 3 million.
Yeah.
So 36.5 was grant. Then the 60 million. And the 60 million was 30 years loan, 5 years grace period, no interest, 1% admin fee. But there was a caveat.
Why?
There's a caveat to it. Wari, danaka yin solal. ngada woto
danaka en soala 60 million oni
because 30 years le dinna 5 years grace period grace period sen min te fenjola sanjulu folo be mbaju juleñi mbaju sangi tan saballa interest je
okay
admin fee le bije it was about lato that's what you call highly concessional law it was about
no interest wow
bari fenna ba ko manu wodum dot la jele for no time
woni da folal de
ani wota fo no rabi
okay
wota fo no so ndol la time burun tanga dati ka sekreto lo na bondi dame fo lu na nganda 96 million wodum dal sign no sign lo
ali o sign
was town already wala nim 50 km ti ani airport ani na wegla jio ani courant hotel to non je hotel burun ka jata alaji useni ko force ngo Senegal kin fa hadle bije nga ko yakin Salman
ya wo fo no interview to le
Besirin Dilaldo
ay wo fo
ko ne Saudi go Senegal nga ka fa yakin fa atam ni ke baron afa go Gambia kin Salman wala kin Salman to nati dana be photo ministre nan ma fa ay jaba jambe dulal to dal akana be exactly medul dal
ay wol fo pour nga pour nga fa ko ay maka hotel do ay wol fo yes
okay so ma discussion start intene ambassadeur oji sala nga commencé ni ka tada bari na last minute la de tangara anate anin Saudi king na ka ja ako Saudi investment authority instruction de la pour ni en ka ja ko ndela min fonu Gambia government level land deal and all the local expenses, the registration and everything. But it was going to be a joint venture. PPP. Gambia government owing 49%. The Saudi Investment Authority will owe 51%.
Yeah.
But it was going to be managed by Gambians. Because we have enough Gambian talent to run the hotel. Okacha ko na ngamu do ko go sidlato ala palace do ngai ko be solo la mo do fana nande akonya jelo ngai 55 for the president, 55 for the minister akonya halas. No, yes, the king himself.
The king himself.
Himself. Okay, no problem. Mutu jama lumbu. But ngai ko bari ma lef ko do lefta mutu la Gambia. Gos ma lef do programme na kono. Problem share. No time soro. Ngai lefta mutu la. 110. So ndenga okay jandi be balaje. Kaytul be la renje. So strategy phase 2 after you bring in the bring sign. Na dati la kadam phase 2. Bring a tamo dati. We had pledges.
Yeah.
Up to about 350 million.
Pledges,
yes.
350 million.
350 million pledges.
Apart from the 92 Lamin sign.
96.
96 Lamin sign.
96, 3 million on that. Min sign the parliament ratify open the sign from the evaluation start. Pre-qualification on akele. Min yana go man pass ngol banije. Min pass ta wala tudu nje. Project management committee bes lo kanunu. Dia musiata. Odi amasiata bari mbedna o maso ko da sutra security den defal falo. Bari pour ga den la jona do go minke. For September 2019, 30th September bring nganda. Ntedana no wodo. Pelegion mini keta asiata. The 200,000 sort of from I think Kazakhstan or something. Well, in Solale, Kungana, Mako office do or stuff like that. Turkey. Continue for the old dinner. 40 foot, if I'm right. Bagaso, Delta Dan. Ni injury minister manda, ni IGP manda. Mpata jere. Story visit. The OIC can do. They have, they have an OIC office at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs because they were the chair at the time.
Yeah.
Kachakuno. Dako barinde. Na mo left the lane train. Ako yala min mo gëna ñadi da ko malon dem ma ko ba antol you are very good with policing, very disciplined. Ala la ñi uniform ñi mal. Fana na mo ñanta aussi fa so ale Gambia fala ko keje. Bari yan fende ndol. Fay ma ko. Ako yala min okay, sa inde min kala. Batu dan bi dan ko tele sa be ja ko nyambatu mbaka tala atara la bosia. They have an organization called Tika. Atara ni waya kata ni won mi dan high school ko nyalo mi no program baju belal ida mal sita ida police control be ye programme sa fa ya kinyana 1815 Gambia ci gardi men no retrain ko buga fo mo ko be di amala silo capacity building
Capacity is very important.
Very important in there at the time.
Yeah.
Because More living for yourself. Silo safla.
Yeah. Lamin, I want to come back to that. Number one, Iko actually Minu ratified and what about 96 million.
Yes, 96.
And after that, Ali pledges to up to 350 million, including the hotel.
That's 100 million.
100 million.
100 million.
Ali Saudi diamo mingi for in King diamo. Ani motor 110 motor. 55 million dollars King Saudi. And in PPP million the hotel or Lola 50%, 51% Saudi and 49 Gambia government. Now, number one, my hotel was it was supposed to be built by Imogam and the Radisson Broti, Bureau Cabral Lata. 1 year ago covering, we did a report to say 1 year today, this hotel that was supposed to be the hotel for the OIC, Bureau Milot Hansa Oliviji, Femmanking, all report can on hotel on Mansoro. Now in 2019, mind you, this was when actually OIC September, King Diamata already fully
around
agreements
before the OIC submitted Makkah.
Before the OIC submitted
Makkah, so much
yeah.
I'm not sure when, around April and for May, for June, but I remember.
Yeah.
But it was in the Ramadan.
And also, Motolu, we had to buy because the procurement will tell it. Today, before I come to the show, somebody sent me the procurement documents, how much these cars cost us. So, Natara no Motolu Nyanta Dilanum by the government of Saudi. The king himself. And also, Ali Doko Kele 4 year commitment Keko Benyu Hotelo, Albe partnership Kela Kaitol Beji. What went wrong?
I think you should ask that question to the secretariat because I was not there. So I cannot say, well, this is what happened, this happened. What I know is up to the time I was living, communications were open, we were negotiating. There was a meeting that was supposed to happen in Saudi, Damanda. In fact, I even told them I don't mind to help you to go on this meeting because I'm in Dubai, so I can join the team to go to Dubai to continue supporting the secretariat so that we finish this thing.
You offered that?
Yes, I offered that. When I left, I did.
And but there was never reach out.
Yeah, it's okay.
So also, you got 350 million pledges.
But this hotel thing, I want to clarify something. At that time, we had proposals.
Okay.
Moving Pig came here.
Juma?
Moving Pig. There's a hotel called Moving Pig.
Okay.
Yeah. There was another group, I can't remember the name. Radisson, we contacted Radisson Blue. We went very advanced with Radisson Blue.
Main Radisson Farm?
Yes, South Africa.
South Africa.
They had the Africa offices in South Africa.
Okay.
And the design concept, because if you want a franchise, you need to bring them on board early. You don't bring them after you build the hotel, you tell them, oh, I have this thing, I want to put Radisson on it. They have their standards.
They have their standards.
They have the disability, physically challenge requirements, the sloping and all that, the toilets. And so we engaged them. And they looked at the design and said, yes, Lamin, this, we're signing on, we're looking for the opportunities in Gambia. And when I sent them the map, the Google map of the place, they couldn't believe it.
They love it.
They were dying.
So that was all on the table?
Yeah, I left them there. I left it there.
Wow.
Yes.
And, okay, yeah. Now, next instinct as a citizen is what is kicking in right now.
That's what every citizen should feel about.
This is an opportunity.
It's a missed opportunity as well. Another missed opportunity. Yep. That's the honest part.
And the vehicles also, you said I could ask these people, but these were documentations that were available
but this is an institution.
That's to continue.
Yeah, that's continued. It's not like I took the files away and then block all the communication. I took nothing. It's not mine. It's the state. I was serving. And I was honored and privileged to be appointed to serve my country. There was no issue about when people think, oh, they were not happy they left. No, it had nothing to do with that. During our time at the OIC, you were here.
Yeah.
You saw the activity level.
Yeah.
Things were happening. Everybody was visiting. We got visitors. I was getting visitors every day.
The fact that
even Google booked.
Google.
2019 December, they called me to have the conference here. I told them it will be ready.
If Google was here, by now we would be making money. You know, you cannot monetize in Gambia. So that's.
I wanted to come here because I met them in Nairobi. Yes.
Now, one thing also you said, Wolom, you already got the money, signed the agreement for the water and electricity. The reason why I'm bringing
go to Parliament.
Yeah,
ask them to give
you. It's there. But no, the reason why I'm bringing this up is they had to take Kurama from all other citizens to bring it to the conference area because among Sino, and there was money already there. 2019, yes. 2019, Kaito Parida.
Yes, grant. Grant. It was easiest disbursement. Grant.
Yeah.
We did the pre-qualification before I left, which means the companies were mainly a bid. You remember my bidding document or Wavelanu?
Yeah.
I set up a technical committee that was reviewing all these documents to see who meets the minimum requirement. Because remember one thing, we had a local content of 30% in these projects, which we were very, very, very serious about. So any company because Gambia will fail. It was for Gambia. It was not for everybody. Why should people who are not Gambians benefit over Gambians on this thing? No. And that, I was very clear. I was very clear. It was in the papers. It was in the bid documents we produced. Even the Chamber of Commerce, I met with them twice. And I made it very clear. Gambian businesses should come together to win these contracts. Some of them won. Because during my time, all the contracts we gave them to Gambians.
Yeah.
You people got something?
Well, during your time, we were getting fair deal of, but not this OIC. If only knows what I'm talking about. We had a fight.
Yes.
They were giving other people more business than us because you got more opposition.
All the newspapers, journalists in this country got something.
I mean, they did not say it, but I think that's why. Yeah.
Everybody, even the online radio in America at the time, Pandora, everybody was written to contact it. That we have this money to give you to start to sensitize people about our program.
But talking about that, the OIC Foloko throughout the campaign they raised 300 million for the OIC.
During September 2019, don't look at this.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Need to come in for Tenko. It is 96 sign already. You pledge so 350. What do you pledge so from a more big cash out?
But do I when the answer no, the answer was from 1st of March 2018 to September 2019, 38. Then when you got no period lamba answer no. But now to be the 1st of October, I cannot because
But you see in this kind of cases,
yeah.
The people you negotiate with, they know who is credible, and the pledges are based on that. We were involved in that with the ADB, etc. So you negotiate with people, and the tougher the negotiators you deal with, the better you feel. If I negotiate with Lamin and he's tough on everything, I know that he's going to implement the projects properly. So we go for tough negotiators. Like ADB projects in the Arab world, North Africa. That's why we had the toughest negotiators.
Yep.
And they implemented the projects properly. Because they didn't just take anything. They would scrutinize every comma. So when they have that kind of person, and they know that with Lamin, our projects are going to be implemented, they will go and give you money. If Lamin leaves, they ask questions, what is happening? Why is he out? Are the pledges going to be used for something else? So, because the pledges come with conditions.
And I wanted to come here, Lamin, in that aspect, because, for example, this is a big organization. You started mobilizing resources at early age, at early stage. You were able to get all of these things coming in and a good foundation. All of a sudden, Lamin Manneh resigned on moral issues, and as an investor, I'm going to start have doubts to say, even banks do that. I remember there was this bank, me and Uncle, we wanted funding, we wanted financing to buy our cameras when we just started. Kabring audio story bill, in the loan approval from Parina. Kabring story findida. No, we want this, and they started asking more because obviously this was a state minister. So obviously they start having doubts. Commitment with us too. So something like this, if you, as the head of an organization, resign just like that, and after having all these pledges, and then there were issues raised, principal issues Latin Ibota. Would you think what the ethical issues at the Fenko doubts Natila?
Can I just come in here?
Yeah.
Because there you cannot blame Lamin for creating problems for the country.
I'm blaming him.
No, because you should blame the president. Because if I were the president and Lamin was running this institution and is raising so much money, and when I resigned, in case I didn't know, and I'm sure he knew. When I resigned, I'll call him straight away. Lamin, come, let's have a talk. What's happening here? Where are you going? He said, I don't like this, that, and I cannot work under these conditions. You give instructions. Let it happen. But if you let Lamin go, and you know that he's going based on principles, he has a reputation. He's an international finance guy. He has a reputation. That's how he raises money. Reputation is his goodwill. So if he loses that reputation, he will not function. So if you get that person, he's raising so much money for you and here he's going, you should call him and find out why is he leaving. If there are problems, you solve those problems and make him stay. Particularly somebody who's not even taking a dime from you. You help him to stay and you help the country. But if you let him go, it means that you are happy for him to go because he's raised money and you can use the money the way you want. That's what he tells me. Lamin has raised the money and he is too principled. Let him go. Now we'll take over from here. So it doesn't happen anymore because if people say, okay, this is the guy who we trusted and he's a tough guy negotiating, etc. He's going to make this happen. Now he's gone. We better hold on to our money. That's what happened to us with the $1.7 billion of the round table. Same thing. When the Amadou Simons, the Lawyer Davos, and the rest were kicked out of government, the money stopped coming. Because these are the people who negotiated it, these are the people who have competence, who have principles, and who are going to make it happen. When you throw them out, the donors who have made the pledges, they hold back. Because they say there's no more transparency here, there's no more equity here, there's no more transparency here. So you don't let that happen if you are a leader. You call Lamin and sit with him and find out what's wrong and you make it happen. So he didn't do it, it's on him, not on Lamin.
But do you think that really affected our resource mobilization, you leaving and creating doubts in the minds of partners who have started working with you? Obviously, they know you're not there anymore. Did you think that raised concerns with them?
To be honest, they called.
Okay.
And I insisted they must continue supporting the country. It was not me. I was serving my country. And I did it happily, honorably, and grateful for the opportunity to serve my country. It was not about me. It was about, people say, you never say anything. If I had spoken at the time, what would happen?
When you left the OIC, I tried you several times. You refused to speak anything
until today.
Why did you want it to wait?
It will jeopardize a lot of things. People, Saudis came here looking for me. And I hid. I went to Kishik in Guyana. Because I don't want to talk to them. Because I don't want to say anything. I told them, look, I left. The institution continues. We had a program, very clear program, detailed.
Do you think your vision...
Let me ask you. People come and go. Government come and go. So if I leave, somebody comes in.
It should continue.
It should continue.
Right. Do you think your vision, your plan was properly implemented in the recently concluded OIC?
No. Because my plan was to get a package for Gambia, which was 110 vehicles, the hotel, and everything that it requires. The surveillance center, sovereign wealth fund. Yes, I did not see that, so I wouldn't say my plan is implemented. It was a plan that we agreed as a team. And every member of the OIC at the time, secretariat staff, we always have monthly meetings. So the plan was clear. Everybody knew. Even the drivers were part of the monthly. I run an inclusive institution, even where I work. The drivers were part of our management meetings, my monthly meetings. Every month we sit, we discuss. Well, I had a dashboard in my office. Go dashboard alone. The timelines for every project. I was under extreme pressure, Fatou. You used to call me, no, Manneh Gambia. I was running.
Yeah.
Because we had 18 months. During a date filing, I did not scale back and say a date filing.
Yeah.
I even ran fast because I added more to the program. Now that I have extra.
Yeah.
Yes, I was looking at 2022 or so. So program new projects you call it what they have called a slack. It's a time bound thing. So you can't you stretch. You give money. Fatou, you know this conference center?
Yeah.
The my government counterpart for them.
OIC Radio.
Yes, $22 million. You can't go to it became an issue. I was embarrassed. The contractor came to see me. We cannot finish the project because the government didn't pay. The government could also don't go, no worries. I didn't say anything. Not a board. I seek approval from the board. Cool. It's going to be embarrassing for us not to pay these Chinese or funding. I have saved money. I invested part of the money I had into fixed deposit and stuff, and I made exchange gains. So no my Chinese so I allocate to the Chinese to do the landscaping and stuff for the center.
So you're saying your plan is not properly implemented?
No, it's not.
Now, how would you rate? Can you put the AC off, please?
Yeah,
how would you rate the organization of the summit?
Well, you know,
Mama Kande said it's the worst.
You know, people need to understand.
Yeah.
President Manneh.
President Conference. Okay, for
OIC structure of you got the technical meetings. 2 days.
Yeah.
Ambassador. On the team and the topics to be discussed. So follow the lady up. Whatever resolutions you can pass and the details at our ministerial conference. So being it out with our ministers. Nanyo sabaje telefola. What will lenka resolution will pass and the decision of the baby sambala president ya approve. So you level sabol. Ambassador yele minute no kere. Minister ali attack. The president fala nyante attack la telefola. So well structured.
Ba president yele nat.
And the makote.
Ndol kabiri ya jame kabiri nga AU summit ke jante fonkata no protocol tile Somalia president talu ni fene na renyim banko kan so AU summit wala tina AU summit ya jame AU villas law within what period Gambia no le law a lot of jang
I was involved.
I was also at some point.
So I was involved. That was my client.
Yeah, that was my client. That built all those AU villas.
Fine.
President talu ni ja president for wara na ja for wara na ja hani Nigeria mimbe mdako to ja West Africa manna Nigeria
I will tell the biggest disappointment
hani Nigeria manna
because mbatunge mako yalo
Tinubu I was looking forward to seeing Tinubu
ni summit Africa summit OIC Africa summit so de na jikira te kada dama wala brimma African president jangamra no bina ibina no in solidarity to support us no wala mera no bari wal manna so malo munam
Arabul, Turkey manna, Kuwait manna, Iran manna, Saudi Ntofola, King Salman Ntofola. What happened? What happened? For the diplomatic relations, because I can understand King Salman manna. Kato, we don't have toilets with gold. We don't, right? But I can understand that. But I expect to have at least Turkey, Morocco, Africa, I was looking forward to Nigeria.
Yeah.
The fact that African president will form the
heavyweights in Africa.
Did
not show up.
Apart from my president, Jomai.
Yeah. So you see, these summits, you prepare them way in advance, diplomatically. The president and the foreign minister should have been busy on the OIC front. The president himself should have been visiting the heads of state of the OIC, particularly the heavyweights, get them committed to come. You do that at least 1 year before the summit. You get them to commit. And then the foreign minister would follow up. So there are follow-up trips, etc. You keep discussing with them, keep them on, and then try to get them committed in other ways, like with projects, like with other things that they will be doing here, like the teams they will be bringing here. They can bring business investors. You work with them on all of those things. So these summits, in addition to the heads of state, they come with business people who come to invest. Yep. So you work on all of that ahead. So the president should have been out there meeting those people. Like Senegal, Abdoulaye Wade was all over the place.
Yeah. And Karim.
2008.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Karim and Abdoulaye Balde. They were all over the place. Yeah. So you go, you negotiate, you do what you need to do to make sure that you get the commitment from those people that they will be coming. So by the time the summit starts, you already have your core participants who have made commitments and know they'll be here. But more importantly, Fana, you do the work in-house. What's supposed to be done in the Gambia here, you do it. Because these people send advanced teams to come and check before they come. They're giving you 50 million to build roads, the roads are not built. They give you money for battle hiding, etc., it's incomplete. They give you money for the transmission, and all of those things are not done. So there are electricity problems, there are connectivity problems, there are road problems, etc. They say, these guys are not ready to host this meeting because there are security issues. When all of those roads are done, when all of the hotel infrastructure is in place, they know that they will be here, they can have that. And if there are any security issues, there are evacuation routes. All of those things are calculated. Are there evacuation routes in case there's a problem? How do we evacuate the delegates? All of those things, there is a checklist. A checklist. They go down.
Then we had a lot of data from the 2016 summit in Turkey. In terms of security, media attend, about the Saturday July. Don't know what at the time. Come on, for do a protocol training. We had committees for every activity. Even the first ladies, we had a program for them, to keep them busy. So we had a detailed program. So,
but generally, the organization, what is your opinion? Failure?
I wouldn't say total failure. Come on, for until interest when Gambia will settle a summit after the summit.
We have the chairmanship now.
But
we'll talk about
chairmanship doesn't create jobs.
Okay.
It doesn't put food on the table of average Gambians.
Okay.
Na sacrifice back wolem ko Gambia batar. We need solutions.
Yeah.
And what assets will be a sovereign fund killing create. Imagine you have on the sovereign fund, you had a balance sheet of what, 400, 500 million? Okay? With the hotel, the VIP lounge, the vehicles you have and stuff. And during the Kachalkono, Nintamata, the Femfando Wafinu, Mimunu trade lines. For example, Saudi fund, Nila Kachadokono. Put your Mago $100 million line. So after the summit, coming Kachano, Nal Summit of Banda, I think I should solve create. Ibaka. But what I'm doing was a barrier. Not that the world of can I solve it or can. I started first if questions. What if? After the summit,
yeah. I remember our conversation in 2019 when we talked about all of these projects. You said to me, after the summit is what is important.
Yes.
Infrastructure memin tulajang, assets sol memin tulajang, Gambia no leba manage la, Gambia no leba dukula, abekila la own tool government leti, own company they may alongo it will employ Gambians.
Yes.
You said that was the plan.
Yes, that was the plan. So dinga hotel soto, na so very well from soto. At the time, nin tada dauda nin fund solto, like Abu Dhabi fund, Kuwaiti fund, and nin Saudi fund. Check. 'Konya Lamin, me okay. 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 'Konya Lamin at least $100 million for on lines, on contingent liability. We call them the LC line. Is that you go? What company could have funding could you have a trade line. Me and go. This is mano nati no. Itulo nati. Basic commodities me and Kunkado no. The program of the Danum Fund for Vietnam. Because in the current local Vietnam banks, I used to train bankers in Vietnam. So bring targets in Asabam Becky and from Ghost Story. I can man of Kenya like it. So Opera Ranger, so no more several went for Canoe. I became Jewel Marco, Gambia Jewel, Minimum. Naya Mano Nat. You clean sort of Soma, Bericama, Basse, you know, a car supply manola. Near Mano sort of Vietnam on a, let's say, a 5-year contract was with Vietnam. Pull your Mano dinner for on a G2G, government to government. So government see from Kojo, packaging. And in freight, maybe $20 or $30. So near Mano sort of for $250, $30, $280, freight Joe. Maybe let's say $400 per ton, right? This one who have $400, $500 still now you make money. To do the same thing. And then the quality was a concern. Because so for yellow, even you push like a you bedroom more than Domala. La Jada can have an Ecabo. Nine Domala Fala. So we'll be yes, we'll be in packaging color. So we're naming where the says to me.
To you?
Because Nami Haman in your minister.
So I'm a success.
There, no.
Not a success.
No, because the man president and minister and they were one day interested back. We are interested back after
the summit.
Then I couldn't fix the name.
And I'll come to that. Thank you so much, Sarah Job, for sending us stars. If you send us stars, you are directly supporting the platform. So we appreciate all our star senders for this show. You dip in call the I'll stars and Allah Moli television. Now, but the OIC chairmanship Bentola Bullseye for the next 3 years, right? What can we gain from this? Is there, because I'm told they will create the office of the chairman, which should be run by some people, Jang. And as the chairman of the OIC, number one, international recognition, our president is the chairman. Congratulations, Mr. President. Is the chairman?
We wish you well.
Is chairman?
We'll give you all the
best.
support.
I hope
we'll give you all the support.
I'll attend you. I banko wati ning umabe. But as the chairman of the OIC, what benefit also does it bring to the country? Can we still grab on some of the lost opportunities Ngamino lose?
Yes.
As the chairman, what do we expect him to do to be able to grab something? This is a big opportunity for us as a country. Continuity.
OIC Bandele. Kachal Kedajade, Dakota Kuodol.
Yeah.
Mbekela. And still now, this is diplomacy. International relationship. Ngami expect the relationship between Gambia and this OIC member countries to be more tight, foster good relationship.
Yeah.
For the benefit of Gambia also and the Umma. So the women for our Gambia, we are willing to support wherever our support is needed. Dimkuel Fanando Fanabije, Natolia Fonyo, Londo Kasama and Fero. Among go with the Diatan and better Kalaje. You know, if we could have the gentleman Sorola. For the temple window, Nimbanku Nandel and Jafonyo. I know you were Yakono. Among correct. Among correct. Kado Woody Molamiliano, Emmanuel. Yeah, Mamma Jimmy Alango, the Palazzo Fare by Samola, Yedoko Dilla. Number important.
Yeah.
Gambia be Bedamomento. Mobile and Monobekeri. But I can Mobile. You're
opposition.
No.
Ismail Sisa Sita Janenkaiko. Nyumbanko insecurity membekeri njang. Ako Gambia is the safest country. Ako nyumbanko food prices are stable. Ngaiko maybe atol kata marse minta ninte kata minta mankele. Bari ite fananko kolabekeri. Ite what's your perspective? Yemune je bankola alhalu to bimbe tembo.
Inflation everywhere. Be it our prices, so many prices, so many. It's everywhere. Why?
When it was up,
the economy. I'm on low.
The real
yes, I'm on low. Be near Jibe, Doljang, Gambia. Gamuna wala.
Yeah.
Jana fanya gamuna export.
Jana.
Omo, Bissau. That's one guy doing export to Bissau. Omo dera omo. Factory la babulu jang.
Akaya sam Bissau.
Jimpex ko jana koma gasam koma jana kanifin.
Ngola ma export.
Namilo. So batu. So nika export. Let's batu so. Nika $2 export. Nika $1,000 import. Ela balance. Current balance yajube. Now, it can go 9,908. It can mean import. Ibo yono na. So $200 bije. $2 mu 50. Mobe ko after wala. Dollar bida 300. Highest bida. Because it can mean nati affects to Amansia. Ela economy is based on import. Hani tulpin. Abu kada raja. Ika import. So, inflation. I'm not going to go mano price. Yes, I understand. That's training. Price of the because it's production. And its rice is produced in the weather. It's rain and all climate issues. We're in a climate environment. I mean, climate change.
Yeah.
Climate change. That is understood. But as an economy, in Dubai, will be craft, Senola be craft, like a mano dada, Kamano feed Dubai, import substitution.
Exactly.
Import substitution.
Exactly.
We need to sit down together and look at the policy.
Yeah.
But Fatu, B.
Yeah.
Wanjo. Everybody there is Wanjo.
Yeah.
Adadi Harajan. Yara Wando, Tona Mujalet.
Wanjo.
And in Kasupraso Manja Vanyola. International. Yes. I'm there.
National market.
Never die of me, I'm going to get
Yeah.
Yeah. I invested a lot of money in Morila. I'm building a plant. Small one. To export. Not for the look. Because we need to start at demanding. What then go? Banco, Bedlo, Yarendem. Economy in Aman Loco. What the more better. 50 year import. Price Jawala. Be that Mendoza, I go 360. Somewhere that's 65.
4 something.
So, what are we hearing? It's inflation. And the inflation near with the basket when you come in basket panyo, panyo. Inflation. It's double digit.
Yeah.
Now MPC money policy is what, 17-18%. FX rate be $68-70 to the dollar. Because highly import dependent.
Yeah.
No services. Our port is not efficient. No investment in the port equipment. Money is here dying for our port.
Yeah.
I came from Bamako last week.
Yeah. You see, if we just look at the budget this year, we expect $150,000 from exports. The revenue from exports. Let me expect this year $150,000. On imports, almost $4 billion on imports. So it means that we export virtually nothing. And if you only expect from exports is $150, not even $250,000. $150,000 is what they're expecting from exports. But they're expecting $4 billion is from imports. So it means that we do not export anything, we import everything. And each year, the country spends a bit over $200 million to import food. Manoni, Tulolo, and things like that. If we do the import substitution he's talking about, we produce mano locally, enough to feed ourselves. Tulo, we don't export the groundnuts. We process it here, have groundnut oil, etc., and we export the groundnut oil, etc., have it to a local market. In a couple of years, we will be saving those $200 million on imports. So those $200 million, that's about $1.36 billion. We can invest that locally here every year. The small industries that he's talking about from moringa, cashew nuts, we can process that here. We can have juice factories
Mango, everywhere.
Mango, oranges,
everywhere.
Guava, etc. We can have everything.
But Rwanda is exporting akabanga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what is akabanga?
The pepper.
Kano.
Yeah.
Ikamini kawara da marshodo. Ngano ndu ya ngo amansa ya pa. Ya pansa ya samba ya.
Yeah, distill a Jima whatever.
$20 for a box of 12 or 15.
Now, when I had a conversation with Dr. Sise here 2 weeks ago, this was my argument. Tonyalon silol beteata, bridgeol beteata, fangol beteata.
Really?
Bari, ibuka investment si fami muiti, amantara fe ulu kan kom na tare manu, manol kom investment ke in production.
Yeah.
Production alkanyimi for the wolom nata nga manol sotono fonka fintin.
Yes.
Nga kasol fintin, nga kotondo de dano base nga abondi, nga nyunuke. Wole kodole income le natila wole ben economy ma but income be continue attentive for how long though?
But iko mano. So take Jahal Pacha.
Yeah.
The capacity we have there. How much money has been invested in that? Mamfes already. Jinoi, Niweta Bridge or the Farabaja Bridge, both sides of the road. It's our rice fields. Komboja, Kia, Badibu. Okay, Jara Katafo, Salum. So these are rice bells. Munatin ni sama banda. The GK no loud mole mano continue. Your company low, your meal full like both sides of the banks. Mole mano fangaya samoja ya mili ya o yasang ya mili ya package ya wafi. So Senegal like a couple of years ago. And what happened was, I think when Macky Sall came to power, he looked at Mojel like a mano import in Senegal, and they tried to promote mano production. So they came to about 9 of them. In 9 there mano import no, but you have to buy the equivalent percentage you are importing in terms of the total from the local production. I have 2 clients who invested in the rice mills, one in St. Louis, there, and that. And what they did was, local manota, ya part. So into broken 100%. Yeah, package. You have the basmati high premium rice and the low premium rice. That reduced the import for Senegal. But it created jobs also throughout the year.
You see, Senegal now, it started very well,
yes,
but it ended up being hijacked by the same kind of cartels. That's the product. They call it product, and they ended up hijacking it. So the money was not going where it's supposed to go. So the program was failing. The Mali government is trying to relaunch it. The French government, after the round table, gave $50 million to invest in rice production around Alunhare.
Yeah.
The ambassador came here and went there to see. After a year, he was disabused, you know. Nothing has happened here. They got the money, they didn't develop that area. So the 50 million, where did it go? 50 million euro for rice production in Alunhare area. They have very beautiful areas and good rice fields. It didn't happen. Jahali Pachar has been pumping, ADB has pumped so much money into Jahali Pachar, it's not happening. But we can turn these things around. And agriculture is going to be the basis for our industrialization. If we believe that and we work towards it, if we even stop that importation, we'll have an additional $1.36 billion every year from import substitution, which we can plow into agriculture. We can bring in more money. Once we have money to invest in agriculture, we leverage it and bring in more money to produce more of the foodstuffs we need. In a few years, we can export rice. We can export findo, nyo, sanhalolo, etc. We can export it. We build the industries here.
Sesame.
Cotton don't make any basi. What did we have here? Just a ginnery. So cotton don't kisoben different cotton do munko bala you export. That's what we're doing.
And you know,
we didn't need to do that.
Cotton do.
Yeah.
And into your bakery.
Exactly. Cotton do kulo, we can have cotton oil seed, which is very healthy.
And the rest is animal feed and fertilizer.
Before the fertilizer, you get cotton oil seed, cotton seed oil, very healthy. Animal feed. Cotton do, instead of selling cotton do munko yarn, we create yarns here and start building a small textile factory. Burkina Faso.
That's Sofitex. I used to finance them, and it's in Bobo. It's about, I think, 350 kilometers out of Wagga, or something like that.
Yeah.
But Nibita out of Fatou, IDB le osilo doku. Both sides le osilo. Ikatara for about what? 150 kilometers. Inya, ikakwe mada maji sando.
Kotondo.
And these are dry countries.
Burkina.
These are dry countries. And we are a very wet country.
They do about, before what, 100 million or so euros turnover per year on cotton. So you come here, Jamando natile. And the Jamando, because Jamando natile come general. They test the soil and look at the region should be. Musi file betaje, ikaole nati, ikaole import. New import ya di general. The deeper data, you cotton dota, you la balance of data in cash. So cotton dobija, mano bija. Wonjo bija.
Tiyo bija, kasu bija.
Tiyo bija, kasu bija, nevada bija.
Tutoli bija, seransoli bija.
Tutoli bija. Fango bija, sesame, akaguru jan. Ndoko, kananga fo ndol UDP.
Wala de
ha, atakila tilim kulu. Ka fo bi minata dong avec no. But the program on le bedala sango sang. Ibaje dan kata la fa da me fa jere.
UDP iko 2017. Masakunda ala masakundalo.
Duwara masakunda?
Baro masakunda 2017. Baro UDP nkola.
Ha no, abaro.
Abaro. So I'm not for signing 2017.
I'm not deny.
And in 2017, atole masakunda fata to senu dawo bije. Lamin Amadou Sanneh finance. You hold all the key positions. Amadou Sanneh agriculture. Agriculture. Tala Lamin Diba. Amadou Sanneh finance. Finance key areas. So these are key areas. Me and Lonko. Agriculture battle level no, finance battle level no, and foreign affairs na foreign policy battle level no. Natra no UDP were able to inject these things. These are you're talking and I don't have questions. Munati nalmani inject government kabado ni.
1.7 billion duanya tara negotiate. Duanya round table organize.
Yeah.
At all.
So
because government currently. This was a coalition government, you remember that? When Amadou Sanneh did the vehicle policy, he was going to save $300 million a year. Yeah. What happened?
Was the maintenance cost?
The president blocked it. The president blocked it. So UDP was in the government, but the ultimate decisions were taken by the president. And at the phone call, that was the time when Fabakar Tombani Sidin Jayun Nataka Fako kick UDP out will help you. So already they were undermining UDP Laudokua. Even at that time, when UDP was working to change this country, these people were undermining UDP. Eventually they were kicked out.
UDP masakundala.
Yes.
Ni nabe onyama. Decision on minkatano. Then usoni le batala kodi. Ndela na kana OIC usoni manfelonje. How important OIC is on the foreign ministry. Okay. Amakalamuta.
Okay.
Bili badi amante fa manan konde mu UDP ngati. There was no political.
Yeah.
That was very malo. So naturally to go UDP masakundala such a decision. Yeah. Such an important role. Yes, they went for a professional. They were not looking at political, but amakalamuta. So that means go undermining incoming vote was already there.
Yeah. And just to come back to what you said then, that now we have the OIC chairmanship. What can we do? One of the things the president should look after right now is to make sure that his Minister of Infrastructure or whatever it's called finishes these road structures. You finish those because they are hugely overpriced.
Hugely overpriced.
Yeah, the battle Harding is supposed to be $22 million. He told us that he spent $79.8 million on it already. So that's $57 million we can't account for. We're supposed to spend $22 million on a road.
And you spent 79.
And you spent 79.8. So that's $57.8 million more.
Yeah, but I don't get mistake in the calculation.
No, I was sitting with him in the debate.
Yes, but $3.5
million
per kilometer.
And he told us that he said he spent 79.8, and that by the time he finishes, it's going to be $150 million on that road. That's what he told us, Peter Gomez.
$150 million?
Yeah.
On the 22 kilometer road?
Yes. $150 million can build us a dual carriageway from Sting Corner to Jarasoma. $150 million can build us a dual carriageway, 2 lane on either side, not 3 lane, 2 lane on either side, from Sting Corner to Jarasoma. Because you wouldn't spend $1 million on that. Because there is a road which is there, which is very well done. You're going to expand that road. So you wouldn't spend $1 million per kilometer. So you can do a highway, dual carriageway from Sting Corner to Jarasoma with $150 million. And you want to spend that on a 22-kilometer stretch. So these are the sort of things that the president should make sure that are implemented, and implemented within budget. Within budget is too late saying. But get them implemented, and then you can start using those to raise some funding for other projects. Because what we should remember is that now the focus is shifting from the Gambia to the next country organizing the summit. That's why you have a troika, the outgoing president, which is Salman, the current one, and the next one. So you have those three. So he will be working with that troika. So these three presidents will be working together, and he should be working with those people. But he can use that chairmanship, get these roads finished first, get these projects finished, and then use that to get at least some ancillary projects. They can come and supplement some of this. It's going to be an uphill struggle because they have built a reputation of incompetence and corruption around themselves. When you have that, it's difficult to raise funding because people don't trust you anymore. But if they finish these roads at least, they might be able to get something.
And you know, the other issue, coming for going forward, the pillar of our administration will be the physical discipline. Yeah. You cannot spend Ulisawa.
That's true.
But love don't roll. Julo with a record, they base about.
Yeah.
Namera, more than the cigar. Najube. Kodol Bija Manyanaka, the past don't be unnecessary. To make coming for corruption. Because it happened on the $779 million less per year.
But motor price would you make a benzo? Motor Vincent.
Yeah.
What do you?
Motor Vincent, the OIC.
OIC.
Habariano, one of the brain in Gango. Ni mutonya sana compliment them, and it's a product, and then compliment la to link people from the airport to the conference center. So ni muto santa malo ya sanjela was maje kamune
bari 140,000 euro for the Benzes, and I think about
Benz because Benzo calculated.
But if you're importing them here, you already will get it because they'll give you a tax waiver.
If you're buying in bulk also, you get a discount.
S450 2023. S450 2023. About 140,640 euros. The lot 2 Toyota Prado VX 65,955
dollars. Prado.
Toyota Prado.
Land Cruiser price hold. Land Cruiser price hold.
So there's a lot. But even the prices that even the flags, I think the number we make flags all OIC flags all in that also.
Physical discipline.
But anyway, the good thing is the chairman of the CEO Co, they are ready to be audited and they have all the documentation. That's the good thing. So hopefully, that everything will come to light. After.
So,
mu secretariat audit called.
Yeah.
For secretariat when you expenditure.
Do that.
Yeah, so neither secretariat or Modosa.
Secretariat le call beke for?
No.
Ministry of Finance. I knew finance long. I'm a Minister of Finance long. I'm not a big fan of the Minister of Finance. I've said
that. Kana Jamfaje because you malo.
Kana Jamfa, okay.
Kana Jamfaje, because I'm not for secretariat like. So Kana for ebe audit la. Imam can near audit Federal because you mark.
The road construction was not them.
So
it was Ministry of Works.
But they had a hand in it.
they're supposed to have controlled it.
The secretariat.
They're supposed to have controlled it.
So when they like a first pre-qualification, okay.
Yes.
And then we were supposed to set up a committee.
But after that,
yeah. So, but after
that, the show was being run from the Ministry of Works.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, so they were doing it.
Okay. So I told UDP. UDP. Now for Mr. Dawe na last interview UDP. Tonya B. I told them big opposition party te nyimbanko ka.
Ever since the land the biggest opposition.
But I told Sanji Mwani Jerusalem opposition ya. I told them I don't see any sign of UDP because ngabi fale. Baroko akopa so naka sala lapinya killing of the wrong. Akanal bita awleto. And then, to be honest, I don't see anything. I told Mr. Dabo the last time. Near Jube, UDP on the only party minka finti kamansa kuna fon criticize the Monday. UDP the malo.
Okay.
That's the fact. Ale press conference for Baroko ko sayo muna galme nyinke no jametamo. Alda maleko. But internally recently ngaminje wala. Alda malbe nyola drong. UDP elected officials the audio bondi la nyoe molbe nyo attack instead of fighting the government, fighting and going after government opposition on the role molati alda malo international ko kamera ko fonga fo dabo nka nyakubi mbe NPP sai nyakubi la party lokon nyakubi ko la mfengo ko UDP ko la fa NPP ko ka to so gole da maltem but it's back on UDP
Musonga siva
Lamin Sanneh ti alin kami fa manjari nga fo jang
Alda malu
from social media to internally, you know, we all know what is happening in the party. There is a little faction nga fo meke ko la dol ko Lamin Sanneh nyanta kala candidate nte ka fole what nga fo ka fole dol ko Lamin Sanneh nyanta kala na flag bearati dol ko Taliben Sudan nyanta kala na flag bearati dol ko Yankuba nyanta kala na flag bearati ñu be ni la campolong modol fana biye ko Dabo for life Dabo la nyanta kala na candidate ñu be ni la campolong Lamin na la campolong Talib na la campolong Yankuba Dabo la mol bi jana ni Talib post wole na ye attack ni Lamin tege so that is what is happening and is evident mbeka jale mbal kono lenkal moy lenkal la ko kalamutale this will not help min you know barobe taraja for the next and baro wa folde ako hanna bata NPP le besira and one sign kan dimi mbati na wota kenon
bari yalo fatu parti babu ko UDP mo le right to ka fo lafta nyina kodi
yeah
mo le right to de usul le mun tele candidate fo fon duma right to ka fo usul le mun tele candidate
mais ñi mo usul le candidate Lamin Sanneh usul ya tra le signa jol Nothing for saying that last time ko. Look, atola patio, atola ka claim ko the biggest intellectual pool membala patio konate dulato. Alko, nim patio karanale bijan do kulale bijan example le bijan. Silang atol dum for the next 10 years atol do senda malwa tra le fanaso.
Ani yalo nyaton ko ka tobon dalilo ka. Kodi nyaton ga man ko itele karanta jenti itele jani no.
Yeah.
Nyaton ga karakter mo kuto mo la karakter jube.
Yeah.
Mo nyandele gavanya dangudo manguto yes ndol defale sirinjal mo dol ko la tan tenga nyato ngayake kodi bari defale la o sene nyato ngayake
so da wala tala candidate 2026
ko rim fer dalilo kan
dalilo la wote
nyim banko nga foyer ko mo to demande be tembalo
yeah
fonga moso do ni yalonko awan hadume amanda mo kelendela amanda na ka fo mbanjola de
yeah
pulunga mo bishel bena adenga banko doku fadu banko doku manke ko kari be Facebook le kari be tenne kari le no banko doku ko le ata ni mo la ka doku non ni benya ton kala fo yeke motimi anko intesifal ni docteur manisifal safa ha nyinde latal ko asinya ton kayano ngoje dawoto mitano mango ko mfanyo le ake jawlat no dalilo ka bari mam dan naka sunko minga mo ka ke patio ko ha mfanyo so do naka so ma nyinda ni o sabu ni mobe do ko aka betale ala miro bi jele fana na miro bi jele alka la miro la kafu ñom ko ka bango samba ndanga mala la ñaton ko yakoto be ñi bango fale no la ndigi tawol amul bambul
which I have no doubt about. I mean, I think
so batu ka fogo muna madal akebata para habilo tus man do keba bu no e bu nambal ci dara yo mari batu batu but mini kafo because you go moluko on fara mba hunu da moluko mfo munu mi dalilo de iman la fi napatela par wala mtonyati ndewol lem dorom ka ba nyi keba dum keba fo azon da mam keba ya patir fo ni pati do ban alfa sa jere bi
mo tine bu fango keba ti na keba president
yo wata la man keba wala man siya usenu
ha
la bi da president mi sini sen jela urso fo la bi da kan natije dinin dije ya long de bukale ko ndira diamo bukasi abaka jum koldo ko de ndekala file nimbe tanya kacala ngal kaca to nyala ani mimbe msambala bari ka foko usonu ke bada ala bondi je al khari ke je o mun jawol
ani mol coming for electability fanan bara I tried several times right you know the fourth or fifth time I try kan ni hani te Lamin you are a banker you know you assess people and give them a lot of money and during that assessment you look at people who can win and bring that money back.
But I tell you I bet on him already.
What I'm telling you is, do you think, you know, can I just go and then in the fire? I don't know fire and go you didn't know you terrorized already. I said that to him because I go not a lot of mota damala already. You know, mobile na kuno usen ka belo mota damala.
Abadalo
tamala tali tamala yang kuba tamala.
Abadalo ka.
But
tamala because of left tamala. No, dalilo bije.
Because you have so much respect for him. But you know, respect all
but dumala kije.
But remember minna electability wise.
Electability
tried 4 or 5 times. Malong how many times? Why do you think we should try again?
We have tried in Senegal 7 times. And he ended up being one of the best presidents of Senegal.
At what age?
At the age of 80-something. Joe Biden.
How old is Joe Biden?
And Trump. Only based at Usainu Dawudi.
Yeah, Joe. I'm voting for Joe.
But what I'm saying is...
he's the best.
Usainu Tom. Okay. So Usainu na Tom Bondalilo lekam. And you don't know I'm not terrorized. You know Usainu sital kachar.
Yeah. You can't talk
but you know ntole di ata bag. So this is for the do pick lele. Usainu that even executive committee Lamin
has been winning.
Lamin for the series. Inter executive committee meeting. Usainu ka chair. But he's the last to talk.
Oh yeah.
And listen to and then have a synthesis, you know, etc. But more importantly, Usainu election Jamal Livindika Suyale. 2021 we won.
What makes you believe for 2026 Fana Waterkela?
Because Suyareme Keta 2021, Waterkela 2026. We've taken the necessary measures to make sure that we get 2021, Waterkela 2026. So Suwarenka 2021, it won't happen in 2026. So we are going to win 2026. One, because Suwarenka in the sun. 2, because the country, everybody in this country is fed up with this government. Anything Yama Yimbankoka, take any sector in Bangkoka is a mess. The health sector is a mess. Agriculture is a mess. Education is a mess. Tourism is a mess. Finance is a mess. Road construction is a mess. Anything Yama is a mess. And we cannot continue to fund you know, it's good if no, we have to be demanding
better.
Exactly. Yes. If we believe that we are capable of greatness, we can achieve greatness.
Yes.
But if only okay, we should be happy with mediocrity. You know, you organize an OIC summit with 57 heads of state, you have 6 that show up, and you say that's a success. That's mediocrity. That's being happy with the minimum.
What is the measure of the bar? What is the measure?
That's the thing. So we don't have to content. We don't have to raise the bar, and we can do that in UDP, and we're going to do it in 2026. And when we win in 2026, 2031, campaign because people will see what we'll be doing in this country. Look, any government in this country that has a minimum of patriotism and economic nationalism can do so much in this country. But all we see is just corruption, people filling their pockets, building themselves mansions and whatever. That is not what we elected people for or had them appointed for. It's to work for this country. That shouldn't be. Na karambol said all should work.
Yeah. That's my biggest complaint.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So with all of that, Gambian olu saying if only yeje fayele. Inte kwat ni nola teng because me tunen kanne. And janin mbetula baro nam fambonde. So because of that, people are going to vote UDP. And people have been voting UDP, but they can't sunyale no. So this is all the killer. Because we don't trust the institutions to uphold our rights.
But
so we'll make sure that the election will not sunyala. That's why we're going to win in 2026, because one facility and we're voting in Kenya 2021, 26 le tambila wala.
Ah.
Yellow Fatou.
After very interesting conversation.
After the election in 2021, we had elections in March.
Yeah.
March, April 2022. A parliamentary election.
Yeah.
The results were different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Then last year, we had the council elections, different elections.
Yeah.
And then
A month later or 6 weeks after, we had
chairmanship and
the results were
different.
Okay. So the pattern.
Yeah.
Now why?
Why? I kept asking NPP that question.
Why?
Yeah. Why?
So he has touched on it.
the measures we're putting in place.
At the Kilakote. But engage Elara Barkila Misan. Intellectual for political getting. Neither that as I can was to drunk. What is in LRR? Because I know, but Royal Money Barke presidential LRR.
No.
LRR fixed deposit.
Honey.
I could fix deposit.
No.
Presidential.
No. Woman, you have the map you be.
But I won't tell you presidential.
I'm telling you.
Presidential farmer, LRR.
Tell you no more so you find to vote in LRR. No.
Nobody, I could have a fix. I'm not going to fix deposit. But I for redeem the actually, you know, during the
yeah.
deposit break the land. Yeah.
Well, across the country.
Yeah.
That in a case by bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So
you should have known the
Let me just say something on that.
That would have been very interesting.
Yes, let's say something.
Subsequent elections.
Yes.
Didn't better president. Better than it.
Yeah.
So they vote at Parliament in the popular vote.
No, popular vote, yeah, we did a story on that.
Yeah,
we win the popular vote in the councillors and the...
So if I find in Gamma, no?
No, we asked those questions, yes,
yeah, so, but they don't answer. So, the
exactly.
But in 2026, coming for it.
So to 2021, we had villages mainly along, we have about 150, 200 people, maybe steering here. We checked them for some Google Maps and then we went to see on the ground. 150 people, they were returning votes of 2,000 plus.
In those villages.
So we know what that is.
You know what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now let's stop for the parliamentary and local elections. And that when the system was just, starting. So for 2026, at the Fulanjan.
At the Fulanjan. Thank you very much, Kacha Diata. Sanadiba, thank you for sending us 1,000 stars. We appreciate Lamin. Kacha Diata, Kacha interesting. Tambuke Sutobake, all that, and I had to extend the conversation because you should talk about
it. But, important. It's important.
Important to learn, Mr. Manneh. Can you drag now?
Exactly.
Mr. Manneh, you guys have to come.
No,
this is a very interesting conversation. And
because
a lot of people are saying, I'm looking at the comments, people are saying, wow, interesting. People really wanted to hear from you, and I think that is
we'll do our best. We'll do our best.
Fatou, I was saying these things.
Yeah.
And people are saying, oh, Lamin is making up stories.
Yeah.
It's confirmed coming from him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's why
I was saying it.
Both of you to look at this.
And these are the kind of discussions we want to have.
Yes.
Elevate the conversation
on
national issues. That's what politics is supposed to be about. Look at numbers, talk about the issues.
Yeah.
And you know, for motive because I was hearing that
exactly.
What also so on.
Yeah, because he's making it up.
And health from
health.
Yeah. 2 hospitals from Egypt. I went to Egypt to look for that support, and there was commitment to support us with the upgrading of the Serekunda hospital to a referral hospital and the Banjul emergency and accident wing. There were a lot, Fatou. The program is wide, it's big.
Wow.
But coming for one nango, ntol na jambo political. That one political program personal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ning ntema minso do balo kono sai.
Yeah.
Mansukuna dogo ta dilantela. But mo Gambia nolti nka banko dol mako ile ya dogo.
Yeah.
Namara yalam janti.
Yeah.
We'll do it for free. We'll serve for free to make sure we uplift our families. It's okay, Nola. Idama.
Do it through a mass.
Wadang kafako. Ninga milu kela montolo nkamimfo. Ani nga programa milandi. Ibalo nalko ila interest ntoli bolo no. Tama mara usela takala president just because of la takala president. Fenne ya hati.
Yeah.
Porque Gambia no bondi fenne kono wala na benye nyino.
Yeah.
But at his age now, as you see the chambers, everybody will go there.
Yeah.
Dol ba koma. Benyin diamo elara. I'm from Elara, and I'm proud son of Elara.
Yeah.
Nintari ye kan ko yes Lamin nadal. Budugol. Fonga ya fasa, fonga na mol fasa. Ebe fasa no nyare fo ye empower. Ebe empower nyade le ye mago ye balo ke faye. E ka woni no so munda ita dokola e balo soto. Ye dimol karanda nyama. Ni min sasa le talo bitano de ye boro soto ye ko do soto kala bitano boro jara.
And that brings me to my last question to you, Lamin. You know, I know a lot of people don't know. We did one time interview and we profiled you just like Dr. Manneh from ADB, all these international organizations. B, he doesn't do anything. All he does is UDP. Drink it UDP. He's on every platform to talk about what the UDP can bring for the Gambians. You work with these international organizations, work on projects, millions and millions of dollars. You know, the last project you were working on before the OIC, we talked about it here. It was
Iraq electricity.
It was bigger than our entire country's budget, right?
Yeah.
Now, with all of that, you still find time to do politics and engage in grassroots projects and politics. I mean, just like you said, I don't think ministerial position or a government position will give you what you get from Fenko. Why that interest, though?
No, I mean, look, there are 2 things. Every Gambian should be involved in the politics. It's a constitutional right to belong to a political party of your choice based on ideology. You support the party for the interest of Gambia. Political parties are for Gambia, not in isolation. If there's no Gambia, there's no UDP.
And you think UDP is the right party?
Yes, it is. There's reasons for it. I can go on and explain why people should trust UDP. We've shown it. I was at the OIC. And look at the job I did. Nobody should. No, I don't want anybody to tell me you've done a good job. I know I did a good job.
Yeah.
I know it. From the day I walked in up to the day I left, I knew exactly what I was doing. And I'm a proud Gambian. I can walk anywhere here. The principles of the party, why the party was formed, was on that. You serve integrity, high moral standard when you're in government. You fight for what is right. I will never, I always say it, I will never be in a system that is not for the good of Gambia. In Gambia, no. But I will not also accept some change for Gambia, no. I fought for Gambia Fatou, wherever I worked. I don't want to go into details. Yes. Ask Mulu Sabali, he will tell you a lot about me.
Who, Mulu Sabali?
When he was director of budget.
Oh.
Even this current chief of staff, I work with all of them. I was fighting for Gambia when I was at, that was my job. And this is my country.
Yeah.
I don't hide it. This is home. Okay, you know, when there's home, I'm coming back here. And I want to come back here in a better place. This is not about politics. It's about moving our country together. It's not politics time. But we fonga kacha. Fonga nyoji benga tonya fo nyoy. Nimba kunsura the solution all. And we don't have it.
And they have a UDP on solution.
Yeah, we are.
Mr. Manneh, last message, moment.
Last message, even for draw, most of us don't need to do this.
Yes.
And a ministerial job or any other position in government, even presidential position, will not give us what we don't have already.
Exactly.
We take our resources, we put it in politics because we believe in this country. Therefore, I mean, I stopped consultancy, I stopped everything, I'm concentrating on this country.
Yeah.
Because this is what we have.
Yeah.
So you have to give back.
Yeah.
I am what I am today because the Gambia gave me that.
Yeah.
So I need to give back so that other Gambians can do what I did. So that other Gambians can have that fighting chance. They can have that possibility to do something for their country. And we take it way beyond where we are now. So that the next generation of Gambians coming will not be saddled with this horrible education system. We are the sacrificed generation because of the education system. We have to move out of that. We have to be demanding. I was writing better in primary 6 than some kids who are leaving grade 12. It's sad. And it's not their fault.
No.
It's not their fault. It's the system that is shortchanging them. So we have got to fight for this country. Because if you leave the country in this situation, it's going to get to a point where it's going to just blow up. I saw a video some time ago of a guy, Yaminda Mototei, and he got so upset he went to a minister's house.
Yeah, and filmed it, yeah.
These are the sort of things that come with the frustrations that accumulate. At one point, they just explode.
Yeah.
We don't need to go there. Let's make sure that we do what is required. If you take the 40 million between the press agencies, it's few selected press agencies, Neota, invest in cars for the police. You can get 40 good cars for the police. Because $1 million is about $16,000, $17,000.
Yeah.
If you put that in a small functional car, you can get new cars. You can get 40 new cars for the police from that money in the new selected press agencies. You have to the police here, and they make a difference in the crime. Okay? All the hundreds of millions that are being lost in this country can turn our agriculture around, our health systems around, our education systems around, our utilities, etc., etc. The thing about corruption is that it pulls us all down.
Yep.
Yeah.
It makes us all worse off. And corruption is like a hydra, it fights back. And that's why we're getting to. That's the state capture we saw in South Africa. I just give you an example to finish on that. South Africa, ESCOM, Utility Corporation, every year in the 1990s and early 2000s, ESCOM was making billions of rands in profit every year. Now, ESCOM is billions of euros in the red. Why? Because of corruption and state capture. You can turn to the coal mines. They produce coal. Yeah, they go somewhere, dump J, it house on the parallel market. Il accomplish nul. It can be paint black. Yeah, but deliver ESCOM. So ESCOM was putting stones in its machines, trying to crush the coal to produce energy. Of course, I'm not betting yet.
Yeah.
And you see, those are the sort of things that corruption does to a country. Yeah. And the state capture was such in South Africa that anybody who wanted to fight it, they try to kill you. When the storm was going down the drain, they brought another guy, Andre Breitner, to turn it around. Breitner came, and when he was turning it around, he was getting calls every day, threats. Don't kill your poison. He went out. He was not eating out anymore. He went out to eat, to have coffee. He had a coffee poison. He almost died. But he ran away. He left the country. So again, that is what corruption does to our countries. Yeah. We cannot all sit there and wait for our country to be so bad that we all have to run away. No, we won't run away. We'll stay here, we'll fight to get this country back on track. Because that was what we fought in after 22 years of dictatorship to change this country. And we're going to continue to fight to make sure we don't go back to that place again. So 2026, we tell everybody, if I can, Banco Kano, and vote for a party me and Uncle can bring change, positive change in this country.
And that is with
UDP.
With
Usainu Dabo.
Okay.
Because anybody in the UDP saying, I know the first candidate. Like we've got our candidate. And if you support me, support me and my candidate, make my candidate win. Because we know that he'll change the country. So that is what we are telling everybody. 2026 and Fan Kanu and the Banco Kanu, the UDP somebody in government, and we'll all be better off for it. So yeah.
That's it. And that brings us to the end of this show. Thank you so much, Lamin.
It's a pleasure.
Interesting conversation. Karakal Fama Jananak. Karakal Fama Jananak. Politician.
But they are working on the ground. They're working on the ground.
It's home. But it's a pleasure. I'll try.
Yeah, no more feel like I start skinning come Morakambi.
We'll try because we need to find solutions for our country. And I'm extending the hand to the government.
Yeah.
To use the skill set of Gambians, both here and outside, to contribute in the dialogue. Okay. The solutions are there. There are brilliant Gambians outside, and I don't count myself as one of them. And I think
it's a pool of experts out there that can help.
We can help. And you see that is the difference, you know. Yeah. People aren't afraid to say I'm good because they know they are good. So they don't have to wait for anybody to say. They say themselves because they know they are good.
So we do it for other countries.
We can do it for our country as well.
We can do it for our country.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
So
Lamin.
I just want to apologize to the viewers, and this is because I have a cold, but I had to be here.
Well, you have to be here.
So I was coughing, so it must be affecting them on the mic.
But we really appreciate that you
so I
have to be
apologize
here.
to the listeners and the viewers for
but
that.
it's okay. It's part of nature. Thank you so much. Mola Kambi, thank you for the stars. Mola Kambi. Mola Kambi le staki na.
That's UDP.
But thank you very much, Lamin. Thank you. The two Lamins, Thank you so much to the star senders, Fak Bajo, Drame, all of you. Thank you. Natamas, thank you. Tonya Ndirobla. Until we come your way again next week, inshallah, with another guest. It's going to be interesting guest that we will have next week, inshallah. Thank you all for watching. Good night to you all. See you again. Bye-bye. Allah Barak.
ngalo na la wato kuma ta baki asira linga da fo ko nyi fawo dinkira
hey elafta maboro la bank kalpo e fa igiso e seo na yuna jang iba dinkira to kati yuna wallet ibe falindiro ke kan sandiri nyat
ni la yuna wallet o si muna fanno tulo jabo mano kandri ni fen jama isi sanno la yuna wallet o kono yalla kamo soto ila wallet o kono
alkana la konda no tay kafi yuna wallet anatan tolle rukan nabal wo fanondi abe sono yaren ko bulu podo nela mobile scan yo science ise ma boroke wato men diate
ko be sandro ke fangole ba ko ba ke kan dimbalem isi ñun lonko e sandro se yona enterprise wato wati anela yona wallet tola ibe lan kamo soto kay la wallet o kono
alina nga kafun nanyi yuna dimbayal kan kasandiro ke yuna biti poto alina kata nyin ko kentat na sura fa lolu di sandiro kije se ma boro fanan keje
moro jun diana nyum ko di mabal ni kadeda